What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, December 16th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. I took it right in the fucking prison pocket last night, right in the old chocolate starfish, right in the heart of the khakis. God, it hurts. It hurts. This is not the right time of year to go on a losing streak. Killed in NBA. Lost in NHL, went over to Razor's horse racing show and dropped a quick 240 there, like an ass clown, reaching. I'm angry, and I'm filled with this fucking heaviness. I'm supposed to get on a plane in just over 24 hours to LA with the family, and COVID's wreaking havoc all over the place. I could just sit here and fucking bitch and whine for a while, but a couple things happen when I get to be on the show with you guys as you guys get me out of whatever funk, whatever anger I'm in. And we also have excellent cappers rolling with us today. Mr. Gogster swept the card on Tuesday. He wasn't on our show, unfortunately, but if you follow him on Twitter, he would have cashed a lot of winners. Mr. Gogster is going to join us. And then we have Dutch Boy Fresh. We have Thursday night football, Chiefs, Chargers. It's a huge game. My dad's going to be at the game. He sent me the please send in this bet for me on the Chiefs. And I'm losing so much, I actually sent it in. So I'm sure it's going to lose. He's on the Chiefs -3 at -110 for $200. And I actually sent it in like a little bitch. I couldn't even take my own father's losing action. That's how bad I'm doing right now. Oh, good God. Sammy Calmer in the house. Nice to see you. Dennis Garcia says, ride the hot, fade the cold, fading a team that has won 5 in a row. How foolish. And I'm doing just that. Dennis, I mean, if the Canucks can win missing 5 defensemen, 5 of them, then, you are a greater man than I am, Dennis, and I hope you cash with the Canucks here. If they can get to their 6th straight winning streak, missing 5 defensemen. I don't think I've ever said that before, by the way. With COVID wreaking such havoc, I don't know of a team that's... I've never said a team's missing 5 defensemen before. And Quinn Hughes is going to have to play 30 minutes. He's already a defensive liability. So is Tyler Myers, for that matter, even though his Corsi numbers are pretty good this year. Look, I don't know. I tried to attack the COVID spots in NBA. That didn't work. We've always said that NHL seems to be, when a simple spot is ahead of you, attack it in NHL. Be weary in NBA. Rob Stevenson in the house. 9 winners he gave out on the show yesterday in our chat. Rob Stevenson coming in hot. Viper NB ready to go. R says that Knicks first half, maybe Sixers. KD can't score all the points. What are they? They have 7-man roster. I mean, so that's the main thing that I've been doing for the last 12 hours is just making sure that we have all the information for all of the COVID garbage that's going on right now. There's Henry Dice says, great price on the Red Wings. Can we trust them away from home? Look at these prices. And I didn't even get in that early on some of these spots. I beat the Kings Panthers line by 30 cents. Got 155. It's 125 at my book here. I got the Islanders at plus 115. It's minus 125 here now. I got the Avalanche minus 160 and plus 150. It's minus 180 plus 140. I got the Red Wings plus 167. It's now plus 150. The only market that I didn't beat at this point is the bet I just recently made on the San Jose Sharks to defeat these fucking Canucks. Fucking Canucks. You're going to ruin my Christmas? Oh, good God. Topset in the house. Great to see you, Topset. We got Fanatical Gyms has got the Rangers have been frustrating to bet. They need to fix their lines. And now Panarin is hurt. So, God. There's Cab in the house. Guillermo Zertucci. I will be seeing you in Los Angeles very soon. North Ender ready to get to work. Serious business. We got T. Says, worst night yet. Let's get it back, Jim. Oh, God. James S. giving love to our Smooth Ed. Smooth Ed from the Horse Racing Show. Kent Davies says, I guess I bet Blackhawks in regulation. That was a tough loss there. The Blackhawks were the right play. Jared TG, ready to go, says, let's put yesterday behind us and have a winning day. Yeah? You can't even say it to me without... Can you do that, Jimmy? Can you please just put yesterday away and not fucking ruin the day for all of us? Brad Summersell in the house. Theo, it's great to see you in the horse racing show. There's Ixnizzle, Ohio's finest. Dennis Garcia said they did this a year ago. Game squad, right guys there. Mostly rats missing. There's the striker ready to go. Mark Schillingberg. Michael Ervelina. Thank you for the kind words. James S. has riddles for you guys. Riddles here in the chat if anybody's interested. Okay, there's Tariq ready to go. Ray Charles, Nut Flush, Allen. Okay, we got to get to work. There's C. Gunner ready to eat. Thank you guys. Sean Sportsbet. Foxy says, take the good with the bad. I get your frustrations, but things will turn around. Thank you, Foxy. I like that. Deacon Mike. Okay, you guys. Okay, at least you've come with jokes. Dennis, I will be doing the NFL show while I'm in LA. Pete Loshak is going to do the Tuesday show for you guys, but there will be 2 weeks off of betting with the bag. I've missed a show. I've not missed one show since I came over to Pub Sports Radio. And look, I'm falling apart. There's Poker Addicted 79, aka Piker. Says because Piker just, our man Seamus Ignoramus, Poker Addicted, he just got over COVID. He said, I've got what's known as COVID aftertaste, where everything tastes like either pennies or garbage. Sucks. Rodney Barton, Daniel Zommerdijk, Jeffrey Blue, Donkey Bong says you must use IV fluid to recover so quickly from the horse racing show. You know, I almost went out this morning, and when the liquor store opened, it started up again. But then I reminded myself that I'm a father, and I can't fall apart at the seams. I have to take care of my family. Dennis Garcia, Dan Kelly in the house. Okay, let's get to work. Steve says, haven't seen Long Balls Larry around. Yeah, he's got some sort of a homosexual love affair by a creek in Costa Rica right now. He's around. All right, let's get to work. There's Tuate Latte. Oh, with the dono. Thank you. Says, found a low shack unit in my couch cushions. Okay, let's get to work right now. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. Let's go. Deacon Mike says, stop yelling. You'll scare the pigeons. Okay. Need to bounce back very badly. Have invested heavily on this NHL card. Haven't moved on the Thursday nighter. Haven't moved on the NBA card. Let's get to work and let's bring in a very hot NHL capper. I'm not talking about his physical looks. I'm talking about the cash that he brings in. Coming to us live from Belleville, Ontario. Please welcome Mr. Gogster.
Hey, what's going on, Jimmy? Guys, how are we doing today? Top of the morning.
It's great to see you, Gogster. We have a lot of work to do. I know you're running real hot in NHL. Thank you for joining us. We have Mr. Gogster here today. We also have him here with us tomorrow. And we have a juicy NHL card with lots of moving pieces.
Definitely.
Let's get to work. House Cat the Bet says, I'll get rid of those pigeons for you. I kill birds like we kill books on this show. House cat that bets. The house cat that bets says he'll take care of the pigeons for me. All right, Gogster, let's get to work right now. Let me get up everything, all the pertinent information for us. Let's go. We are going to start with the Philadelphia Flyers, 11-12-4, 6-6-2 on the road at Montreal Canadiens, 6-21-3, 4-10-1 at home. We're at the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec. Carter Hart, 7-8-3, 2.80 goals against average, .915 save percentage, 1 shutout. Going up against Jake Allen, who's been playing a lot of hockey for this very, very sad Montreal Canadiens squad. And just to give a little love to these horrible horrible Montreal Canadiens, coming off their 7th straight loss, 5-2 at Pittsburgh on Tuesday, have been outscored 24-10 during those 7 games, have scored 2 goals or fewer in 22 of their 30 games this season, including each of their last 4. Cole Caulfield has no goals in his last 9 games and 1 goal in 22 this year. Let's bring on Jeff Gordon to see what he thinks about these Montreal Canadiens.
La plus grande franchise dans la histoire du hockey.
Oh God! I thought
he didn't even
wrong.
put in an effort with the Jean Chrétien. He just fucking went straight up English. Jesus.
It sounds like me speaking French. That's rough there. Let's get right to work. Okay, let's talk about the market moves. We'll talk about the issues going on right now with each team, and we'll have to pull up the injury report for the Habs right now. It's a mess. Montreal opening up at plus 120, now at plus 142. These Flyers are now at minus 165. This is another market move that I bagged and tagged last night. I got minus 1. I guess not that much. I guess 25 cents. I beat it by 25 cents. And the only reason why I don't think that's an enormous amount is because we're destroying market moves all day in NHL because of the COVID madness. I got minus 140 on the money line and the puck line at plus 170. So I got a minus 1 line at plus 113. That puck line right now for the Philadelphia Flyers would be minus 145 and plus 165. So it's not that big of a, not big. Ghetto Jew, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for the dono, my man. It's rough. I'm hurting today. So thank you for the care here. Let's take, actually, who cares about the market or where the cash is? Maybe we'll bring it up in a bit. Why don't you take it away here? Lots more to break down in the spot Flyers Habs, Gogster.
Oh, thank you. Billy Friedrich just brought up Primo's been confirmed, and I see he was called up in the AHL transactions just today. Wow. So he just came up from Laval. Caden Primo, he's not having the year he's had in the past. They have to relieve Allen, guys. He's 1-7 with a .901 save percentage and a 3.56 goals against. When you come to injuries, everybody's out. There's I don't know how this team's even alive right now when it comes to Montreal. Sorry to all the Montreal fans out there. Chris Weidman, Jake Evans, Dvorak, Toffoli, Gallagher, Anderson, Edmondson from before, Byron still. Price is skating, which is a good sign. But this team's just depleted. It's fade Montreal until they get their core back. So I'm taking Philadelphia here. They only got Morgan Frost on the COVID. They still got a lot of their players that they usually have. And Philadelphia's got to start winning games, guys. They had a really rough start to the season. They had injuries too in November. Now that they're getting healthier and teams are starting to struggle, especially Montreal. Just like Jamie's on, I'm on Philadelphia as well, guys. I got the regulation at plus 119. That's at Pinnacle. So I'm pulling the trigger, guys. Carter Hart, not exactly having the greatest of seasons, but it's just the matchups here, guys. It's Montreal heavily depleted. Philadelphia, this is first play on the card here. Regulation plus 119, fellas and ladies.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So let me just lock this in for you. Gogster. What was it? Flyers in regulation.
Yeah.
What was the line?
Plus 119.
Oh, it's still getting a nice line.
Yeah, it actually went the other way. It was plus 115 last night. That's what I got. So you guys can get 4 cents better. Caden Primo's going. Yeah, right. Just such a difference, guys, going from AHL pucks as a goalie to NHL pucks as a goalie. So look for Philadelphia, in my opinion, to clean them up here. Wipe the Montreal Canadiens. That was awful.
Philadelphia power play 16.7%, penalty killing 80.9%. Montreal power plays being atrocious, 12.8%. Their penalty killing almost as bad at 71%. Flyers coming off their 3rd straight win, 6-1 at home over the Devils on Tuesday night. Cam Atkinson had a hat trick and had an assist for Philadelphia. He's a key piece of this power play. He needs to get rolling. Looks like he has. Flyers are 3-2-0 since firing Alain Vigneault and Michael Therrien. Which one of them will end up coaching over in Montreal?
Oh, get Therrien back in there. That's the best French accent you're going to ever hear.
The Flyers have scored 4 more goals in 4 of their 5 games since Mike Yeo took over. Before that, they'd gone 17 straight games without scoring more than 3 goals. This is a nice spot. As you said, the injuries are unbelievable, but it's not just the injuries. You have players who are doing nothing for the Habs. Joel Armia has no goals in his last 11 games. He has 1 goal and 4 assists in 28 games this year. They were good enough to sign him to a 4-year, $13.6 million contract in the offseason with a salary cap of 3.4. Salary cap hit at 3.4 million. Enjoy that shit. We talked
he
about
has no line mates. He's got no line. He has no line mates, right? Like his normal line mates, Evans, who else? Even Anderson, some of the fourth line guys. It's all been switched around. And Laval, Caulfield, you'd think he'd be doing all right. He's struggling when they need him at the most right now. The only guy that's actually producing who had a really nice goal a couple of days ago is Jonathan Drouin. He still has some hands. He's a guy that can put the puck in the net. So other than him, it's mince meat when it comes to the Montreal Canadiens lineup.
Cedric Paquette, no goals in 15 games. Christian Dvorak is now going to be sidelined indefinitely. So he's missed the last 3 games. He's out indefinitely. Josh Anderson, the news came in about Josh Anderson yesterday. I know he's been out now. He's missed the last 5 games, but he's going to be sidelined for another 6 weeks. So nothing coming in for that. We have no help, at least. Rem Mo says you have primo all stats on hand, Jimmy. You're damn right I do. You're damn right I do. This year with the Laval Rocket.
Laval de Rocket.
8-6-1 with a .912 save percentage, a 2.77 goals against average. He's had 2 games in Montreal this year. He has a 4.82 goals against average, 877 save percentage. He played in 4 games last year with a 4.16 goals against average, 849 save percentage. He did look good in 119 minutes 3 years ago in Montreal.
That's what I'm saying, guys. It's the difference between AHL pucks and NHL. It's just a huge jump, and Philadelphia's got a healthy lineup. They're looking a lot better. Going up against tougher teams. They just wiped New Jersey 6-1, 5-1 the other day. So their team moving in the right direction. I expect Primo to struggle like he has.
Piker wants an even Frenchier NHL, he says. He says, I won't watch until the candlestick from Beauty and the Beast is playing.
That's awesome.
Oh, Piker. Okay, so Jared TG says feels weird trusting the Flyers now, but it's working. Okay, so we're all on the Flyers. Paco says, do you endorse the Ottawa over 5.5 at -120? That's one of the few games I'm not on. Let's talk about it right now. 7 p.m. Eastern, Ottawa Senators 9-16-1.
C'est avec beaucoup de fierté que j'ai accepté le rôle de vice-président des operations hockey avec les Canadiens de Montreal.
Okay, we have a little more there.
That gets me every time.
That was the breaking news. That was new. That's a new clip. That was a new clip.
The tears there.
All right, Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. We have Anton Forsberg, whom I believe in. 6-4-0, 3.20 goals against average, 908 save percentage, 1 shutout. I like the fact that they cut Matthew Murray. No one wants Matthew Murray, of course. Andre Vasilevsky, 15-4-3, 2.15 goals against average, 927 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Ottawa's power play has been very nice lately, 20.5%. Batherson really looks like the real deal, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. He was a stud here in Belleville. All the kids had the Batherson jerseys, and he's looking good. You're right.
He's looking very good. Their penalty killing still struggling, and they don't have that, thoughtful defenseman that will just stay back in the zone and just clear the front of the net. And they seem to have offensive defense. Maybe Josh Brown could be that guy. They have both Josh Brown and Eric Manstrom out. Their penalty killing 77.1%. Tampa Bay's power play 17.9%. You see how important Kucherov is. He's practicing, and just like last year when he was able to play in the rest at the end of the season, but they needed to keep him off the books. He's not going to come back until 2022. So he could play within a week, but he's not going to. They're going to wait. They're going to keep him off the books until January. So Kucherov started practicing, but Braden Point-Eriksson still out. The Lightning bounced back from their 4-0 loss at Ottawa by beating the Kings back at home on Tuesday, 3-2 in overtime. The Senators opened up this 3-game road trip with a resounding 8-2 win at Florida on Tuesday night. Now they get a rematch with the defending Stanley Cup champions, whom they beat 4-0 at home on Saturday night. They've won 2 straight and 5 of 6. They are rolling. Viper NB says the total's gone over in 7 of Tampa's last 8 games when playing at home against Ottawa. Here we go, Gogster. Senators Lightning, one of the few games I'm not on. Take it away.
Alrighty, guys. Tampa has been hot last month. They're 10-3, 16% power play though, and 16% power play, 71% penalty kill. That 71% penalty kill, I don't like. And the way Ottawa's been playing, guys, they have 24% in the last month. They're completely healthy. Both these teams do not have any COVID issues too. So You would think then there should be some goals, but you got Andre Vasilevsky in net for Tampa Bay. I don't see the confirmation on that, guys. If there's anything changed, let us know. But it's a tough one for me to do the total here, guys. But I think I'm going to be on Ottawa, Jim. First period, classic Ottawa spot. They're coming off an 8-2 win. They're feeling good about themselves. Tampa Bay too. They had that nice win at home after getting beat up. Yeah, they did lose to Ottawa. You brought up to 4-0 back at the Canadian Tire Center, if it's still called that. But yeah, guys, I think Ottawa, especially if they got Forsberg, I was thinking Gustafsson might go here, but if we have confirmation on Forsberg, that's even better for Ottawa. He's been a hot goalie. He's been the reason why they've been winning a lot of their games, but the offense has been humming. Artis Zub, Jimmy, that's the one. That's probably the guy for Ottawa. Their stay-at-home defenseman there. Artis Zub. That's not exactly a household name, but he's the guy that's he's a young kid, but he looks good on the back end. I think Ottawa, they're playing really good hockey right now, guys. You got to ride the hot hand, in my opinion. It's plus 173. Even if it's a tie, if it's 0-0-1-1, you get the push. At that number, I got to take it plus 173. I got 178. It's now 173. Ottawa first period. Just ride the hot hand, guys. They're 5-6-2 in the last month, which is pretty good for Ottawa to be 5-6. 3.45 goals for, 3.91 again. So they're scoring a lot of goals as well. Vasilevsky, that's going to be the big test, but I think they can slip a couple by him. Historically, Vasilevsky's been known to first period be a little shaky and then kind of dial in as the game goes on.
I will lock that in for you. Just a couple issues for me and why I'm off this game is Tampa had that great road trip. They went into Ottawa on a matinee on Saturday and got beaten up badly, 4-0. That has to be fresh in their memory. They have to want to repay this squad. I was on the first period in the Senators-Panthers game. They won that game 8-2, and I pushed the first period. So I still have the anger about that, and that's part of the reason why I'm not just immediately tailing the first period. But that the issue for me is twofold. From an offensive side of things for the over, the Senators just scored 8 goals last night. Spencer Knight looked terrible, and now Vasilevsky and the Lightning are going to want revenge. And that's the reason why I'm not on it. And I've got a ton of action. If there was less action, then maybe I would add this in, but that's why I'm not on it.
I have a lean to the under there, actually. I had in my notes here, I had a little lean to the under. Tighter game, revenge factor. Jimmy just said it too, 8-2 win. Defensively too, or not just defensively, Forsberg's been playing better in net. I think this could be an under game, but overs, it's not a side I'm going to mess with, but first period Ottawa, I'm gonna roll with that.
First period, and what was the number that you got? So I can
plus 173. Plus 173, Jim. Can't deny that.
First period plus 173. I like it. And as Dennis says, and I completely agree with Dennis's call here. He says, I mean, you can only bet Ottawa, but you'd expect Tampa Bay to show more here. And that's succinct and put perfectly, and that's why I am off of it. Let's move on to the next spot on the card, and this was a really nice beating of the market here. And I didn't even get in that early.
On DX.
When did I get? I got in, I don't know, about 3.5 hours ago, maybe 4 hours ago. And look, I knew Florida had issues. I don't know why I didn't bet this last night. I don't think it was available. I don't think it was available.
Yeah, it was. I hit it last night.
But I beat this by 30 cents already. I got plus 155 on the LA Kings. It's now plus 125.
Wow.
And I'm not sure if this game goes. The list of Florida Panthers on the COVID list just keeps growing and growing and growing. So let's talk about this spot now. The Kings opened at plus 178. They're now at plus 128 at Pinnacle. When do you hear 50-cent moves? I mean, that's
probably the biggest move for a dog all year right there. It is.
Yeah, and it's COVID related. We will not see it. Maybe when the starting goalie's pulled for a backup, even then you don't see 50 cents.
No, yeah, you wouldn't see 50 cents, no.
This total opened up at 6. Pinnacle's moved it to 5.5. The other books are still hanging 6s, but Pinnacle has moved it to 5.5. You have Johnny Quick playing as good as he's played, since they won cups. He's 7-5-4. Not a great win-loss record, but 2.09 goals against average, .931 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. Sergei Bobrovsky is now they're now for the first time in a while thankful I mean, they could have kept Drieger, obviously, but they're thankful that they kept him with that huge salary that they're paying him. Look, I don't think he's worth it. I don't know if any goalie in the NHL is worth it. What's he getting? 10 mil per year. 12-2-2, 2.37 goals against average, 920 save percentages. Kings power play at 19.1%, penalty killing at 75.4%. Florida power play at 17.6%, penalty killing at 79.6%. The Kings had their 2-game winning streak snapped in a 3-2 overtime loss at Tampa on Tuesday. With all the COVID issues going around, this is a really healthy group. Panthers come in off their second straight loss in third and 4 games, 8-2 at home to Ottawa on Tuesday. Already without Alexander Barkov, who is eligible to come off the IR today, and it's not the knee injury, it's an upper body injury, and we don't know the extent of it. So he is eligible to come off the IR today. I don't think he will. Mason Marchment and Maxime Mamin are all out. They've added Sam Bennett, Carter Verhaeghe, Radko Gudas, Brandon Montour to the COVID list. Gustav Forsling's also sick, but he's not on that list. So, I mean, with Gudas, Montour, and Forsling, there's 3 defensemen. With Bennett, Verhaeghe, Barkov, and Marchment, I mean, they can still put together a really nice unit of 5 players. What do you think here, Gogster? Take it away, Kings, Panthers.
Kings, Panthers. Yeah, Jimmy, I'm with Jimmy here, guys. I've done a lot of first periods. I hope this doesn't bite me in the ass. I did first period LA Kings, but I got that at plus, plus 146, but now it's plus 133. So for current line purposes, Jim, plus 133, LA Kings first period. I would tell you guys to take the full game as well. Just a healthier team, a better team too in LA Kings right now than the Florida Panthers. And another guy, Lomberg, he's another guy that's also out for Florida. He's a huge part of their team, heart and soul guy, can throw a hit. Does all the dirty work for the team. So Florida Panthers are depleted. There's a reason why this line, I'm surprised. Well, not surprised. COVID can just pop up anywhere, but this line just got absolutely smashed. You can get a plus money on LA Kings. I would still recommend that one, guys. First period, full game, double up spot, thrown in a parlay if you want. Nice juicy parlay piece. I think LA Kings, they're a healthy team other than Andreas Athanasiou, who's got a lower body injury, not even COVID. So there's no COVID that's really spreading throughout the LA Kings locker room right now, which is a great sign. So hopefully it doesn't hit him after Florida. I expect a nice performance from the LA Kings. I saw Pettersson, though, Jim. I'm not 100% sure if that's confirmed yet. Either goalie, you would want more quick. He's played a lot better, but I trust Cal Pettersson. It's one of those guys I trust, kind of like Nedeljkovic for the Detroit Red Wings. So look for LA Kings, guys. Nice plus money. Let's take this one to the bank. DX Jim just said Kings team total over 2.5. I like that too, DX. Bobrovsky's gonna be in tough here. I was just trying to look up Springfield's call-ups too, guys, because that's the affiliate, and I'm not seeing a lot right now. They have a lot of PTO guys, which are guys just on training contracts, 1 or 2 day contracts. So depleted Florida team could be canceled. The more I think about it.
I think this game could get dropped. Yeah, I really do. But just because I think more people will be announced at this point on the COVID list. Jeffrey Blue says, do you still think there's value on the Kings at this number? Jeffrey, you can answer that question, but I would say that when there's been a 50-cent move, that you should probably just let it go. I think just a black and white thing when you miss out on that move and you miss out on that implied probability. Mm-hmm. In saying that, to still have a plus line beside the Kings is pretty nice.
Yeah.
So those rules don't have to be black and white, but I made them black and white personally.
Which one thing I would say too is they're implying it that they're still the underdog, that they think, 42, 43% chance or 45 that LA Kings would win. I think this is more 50-50. So that's where I'd say around if you can still get plus money, I think it's a coin flip game. Give me LA Kings for sure. But if you're getting in the minus, then you can't even touch it. That'd be like an 80-cent move, which is insane. But huge dog price, you're still getting plus money. I'll take it.
Move on to the next spot here, 7 p.m. Eastern, Vegas Golden Knights at New Jersey Devils. Golden Knights 17-11-0, 7-5-0 on the road. At New Jersey Devils 10-12-5, 7-5-3 at home. We're at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. We have this total opened up at 5.5. It's now at 6. When we get to the money line here, we have, where is it? Here we go. Not a lot of movement in this game, surprisingly. Let me just check this here.
I think
I
the
guess
money
there's-
went on Vegas a bit there, Jim. I'm pretty sure some money came out on them.
Yeah, you're right. It's now minus 180. So this isn't. Oh no, it's got minus 180 here, but so it's just not moving. There's been no movement at Pinnacle. That's why there's no movement. So
No.
there's been movement at Bet 365. So I got in on the minus one last night, and it's only moved 5 cents since I got in. And there's been no movement at Pinnacle. It's actually moved 3 cents in the other direction. That makes me a little nervous. House Cat, that bet's got Vegas minus 1 at plus 111. It's funny. I got, oh, wait, what am I talking about? I got the Knights at minus 140. Look at that. So what? Sorry, I take that back. I beat this move by 40 cents. Why did I think minus 160? I got minus 140.
I'm seeing it. I got minus 113 last night on the regulation. It's now minus 117 just before the show. So a 4-cent move at Pinnacle from when I got it last night at about 3 a.m. Eastern time.
Oh, I put this in wrong when I set this in.
Oh,
That's what happened. That's what happened when I sent this in. I put this in wrong because I got minus 140 on the money line and minus 1.5 at plus 170. I got plus 115, but I wrote in minus 115, minus 140. Minus 140 plus. Let me just do this again. So that's the miss. That's why I got plus 113 on the minus one.
yeah, no, that's solid. Yeah, that's better than what I got because I got minus 117 guys on regulation, but Jimmy overnight plus 115 on the minus one, which if it does go to overtime, he gets the push and I get the L. But if it stays in regulation, I get the win and he only gets the push. So long term, it's probably a better thing what Jimmy's doing.
Oh no, I see. Sorry. So what happened? So sorry, I'm so confused because what happened last night? So I didn't. I just no. Everything's right here. So what happened was I got minus 175 and plus 140, not the other way around. I was looking at the Flyers bet. I got minus 175 and plus 140. That was minus 115 on the minus one line for me, Mr. Gogster. And then when I did that, House Cat that bets, who's in our chat, said Vegas minus 1 is at plus 111 at Sports Interaction. And I was like, God, that's crazy. And then I inputted Sports Interaction's money line and puck line, and it was their mistake because when I put in their money line and puck line, it still was a minus 113 or something like that. So sorry about that. So that was my fault, just getting all the markets right. Okay, so let's get back to work here. Vegas power play at 17.1%, penalty killing 79%. And New Jersey Devils power play at 12%, penalty killing 79.5%. The fact that this hasn't moved a little bit more makes me a little uncomfortable. Vegas is as healthy as they've been all season long, and they're playing their best hockey. They're coming off their second straight win in 5th in 6 games, 4-1 at Boston on Tuesday night. They've scored 18 goals over their last 4 games. Devils coming off their 3rd straight loss, 6-1 at the Flyers on Tuesday. So, look, I can sit back and say, yeah, they're capable of a bounce back here, but Nico Hischier not being there, it kind of puts Hughes in a tough situation. They're also missing Yaros and Ryan Graves, 2 defensemen that are on the COVID list. They've been outscored 10-3 over their last 2 games. So, yeah, and I did. It is right. I did put it in right because I remember House Cat that bet's letting me know that, and I was like, I was just looking at the Flyers odds. So I got minus 175 and plus 140. And what did you get, Gogster?
I got the regulation. It's at minus 117 now. It's at Pinnacle, guys.
Gogster is Knights in regulation. All right, talk about this spot for my
So yeah, just Jones and Yaros and Graves, guys. Those are 2. Jimmy said it. They've been outscored 10-3. Those are 2 just huge defensive guys that they don't have on their team anymore. Especially Graves coming over from Colorado. He's been a solid back end piece. They still got Dougie Hamilton. Their decor is not too bad, but missing those 2 players. You got a hot team in Vegas. Jimmy said it too, completely healthy, scoring goals. Defensively, I like to see them a little bit better. They still don't have Alex Martinez. He's out since I think it was November last month. Roy's the only guy out, but it's not COVID related. So in my opinion, it's a Vegas spot. It almost looks not too good to be true by any means, but I'm just fading the Devils. I think the 2.54 goals scored. They're allowing 3.69 in the last month. Similar to Vegas, I think it was a couple nights ago. I took them first period full game. That line was juicy, but this one's a little more I think it was minus 160, or Jimmy said minus 150 on the money line. So we're going to take regulation here, guys. Just let's not talk too much more about it. I think it's a Vegas spot. I like it.
If these guys weren't out with COVID, I would not be fading the Devils after losing 6-1.
No, if they had Graves, Yaros, and Heischer back in there, I would be on the under too. I think this, without those two defensive guys, I can't take the under. But if they did, I think it'd be a really tight game, especially with Blackwood, Lehner, and Net. But missing those players, those are three just top players for the Devils. And just looking at the roster for the Devils, guys, they're tiny. They're very small. Not other forwards for that matter. I think they're gonna have a tough time against this Vegas team.
There's DJ Big Boss in the house. Says,
Check out DJ.
Gogster. He says, Youngster getting old. Okay, so we're both on Vegas here. Let's move on to Detroit Red Wings at Carolina Hurricanes, PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina. I got the Red Wings at plus 167. Right now they're at plus 150. So beat that move by 17 cents. Nedeljkovic versus Frederik Andersen is what I have. Nedeljkovic 9-6-3, 2.71 goals against average, 918 save. 2.71 goals against average, 918 save percentage. I also am not sure this game is going to go tonight. The Hurricanes have said what just came out. It said they're playing. I'll pull it up. There's an article that just came out maybe 2 hours ago that said they're playing with 16 players. Let me just Hurricanes playing with. Let me see if I can pull it out here. Playing 16 players. Is that it? Yes. I believe that is the case. I'll pull that up here in a second. So Hurricanes are just unbelievably beat up. I cannot believe that this is the number that's sitting with the Detroit Red Wings. I can't believe it. 4-game winning streak snapped in a 2-1 loss at Vancouver on Sunday night for the Canes. So they have, listen to this. These are the centermen that are out. Sebastian Aho, Jordan Stahl. So there's line 1 and 2. So they still have Trocheck. Seth Jarvis, Steven Lorentz. So they're missing 4 centermen. They're missing Andrei Svechnikov, their best winger, and they're missing Ian Cole, and Jordan Martinook is already out with a lower body injury.
Just awful.
Yeah, it's horrific.
Yeah.
So how are we getting this spot here? Red Wings snapped their 3-game losing streak. Now they have Michael Rasmussen and Robbie Fabry, 2 left wingers on COVID, but it's nothing. I'm shocked here. Yeah, I'm shocked. Take it away here, Red Wings, Hurricanes, Gogster.
Well, one thing is, guys, you remember they were defensively, they were screwed. Carolina, they've got D'Angelo and Pesci back. Defensively, they don't. There's no problems really here. All those guys Jimmy listed are forwards, for the most part. Ian Cole's a forward, right?
Ian Cole's a defenseman. He's the lone one.
Sorry, yeah, he's the only one, third line defenseman, I think. Yeah, but other than that, they're all forwards. So defensively, I think it's going to be fine for Carolina. They still have Anderson. Detroit, they for the most part still have their they don't have Rasmussen. That's going to hurt them a little bit defensively. But Carolina doesn't have the offense to expose them, in my opinion, tonight. Nedeljkovic, he's a solid goalie. He's got a .919 save percentage, 2.65 in the last month. Anderson's pretty much the exact same, a little bit better GAA. Look for an under here, guys. I doubled up here, Jimmy. I got the first period under minus 103 now. I got that at plus 101 originally, minus 103 now. And full game under. Hit it at minus 101. It's now minus 110. So we'll give up minus 110 on the full game, 5.5. And then first period under 1.5, guys, at minus 103. Tight, low scoring game here.
And what was the under 5.5 at?
Minus 110 now.
Minus 110, under 5.5. Glad to hear that you are on the mend, Donkey Bong. Glad to hear that you're on the mend. No, Tyler Bertuzzi is back, Rem. Tyler Bertuzzi, he's the only player in the entire NHL unvaccinated, and he is back, and supposedly he's completely good to go. All right, let's keep moving on. So we have Gogster, first period under 1.5 at minus 103, and the under 5.5 at minus 110, and I'm on the Red Wings at plus 167. Yeah. Why are you not moving on the Red Wings at plus 150? Is it because you see the Hurricanes with all their defensemen still?
It probably is the play. It's just, defensively, like it's going to be one of those things where Detroit's going to probably outshoot them 35-20. But if, it could just be a couple, 2-on-1 opportunities coming back for Carolina. it's just not. I think this is an underplay, and I just had so many. I was going to take Detroit, actually, Jimmy. I was looking at that, just the line too. You're getting a nice plus money with all those guys out. Similar to LA Kings guys, this number should probably be like plus 110, 115 when you're looking at the COVID injuries on Carolina, similar to Florida. So at a nice plus money, I can't say no to Detroit, but taking the unders, it's one of those ones I just had to play.
I'm very, very curious, not just for my own bank account, but I'm very curious about how I will do this evening, because in NBA, this certainly didn't work. And I've seen it not work often.
Yeah.
But in NHL, I get to bet against the Hurricanes without Aho, Stahl, and Svechnikov. And here in our next spot, Boston Bruins at New York Islanders, I get a plus line betting against the Boston Bruins without Marchand and Bergeron. I mean, it's just crazy to me. I got plus 115 on the Islanders. They're now minus 130 at Bet365. And look, I didn't bet this that long ago.
Come on, Jansen.
I bet this Islanders. When did I lock this in? This is when I bet the Kings at plus 155. I bet those both, 3.5, 4 hours ago. It's nuts how slow the market's reacting to these things. Mm-hmm. And I'm so curious to see how this plays out. Boston Bruins 14-9-2, 7-4-1 at the Islanders, 7-12-5, 1-5-2 at home, UBS Arena in Elmont, New York. The first thing I thought of when I was like, oh, this is a must bet, the Islanders are a must bet, is that this team will have no compassion for another team going through this whatsoever. They did not get any relief. They had to tack on losses.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some books were really smart about this. Pinnacle being one of them. Pinnacle waited to open this up.
Yeah.
So Pinnacle didn't let you bet on this game, and they opened the Islanders at minus 120.
That's what I got it at.
Wild. And the initial money, and I take that back. They opened this up they opened this up. I take that all back. They opened this up a while ago, minus 120, and the first money came in on Boston. So Boston went from minus 112 to minus 145 in this game. Crazy. And the same with Bet365. Look at Bet365. Bet365 opened this at 10 in the morning yesterday at the Islanders minus 120. And then at 1 in the morning, it moved to the Islanders plus 110. Then at 5 in the morning, it moved to the Islanders plus 115. I can only think, and then it wasn't until 8 in the morning that moved to minus. I can only think that the models, the syndicates came in with the advanced models that didn't have Marchand and Bergeron out of the lineup and said, oh, the Bruins are the bet here. That's the only thing that I can possibly imagine. Boston's power play at 24.7%. Take Marchand and Bergeron off of it. I mean, it's just crazy. This is just nuts to me. Bruins had their 2-game winning streak snapped in the 4-1 loss at home to Vegas on Tuesday night. They're also missing Craig Smith, who is such a quality player, accountable defensively, can hit. Islanders coming off their second loss in 3 games. They don't have Matthew Barzal, and they don't have Ryan Pulock due to a lower body injury, but I went over their lines, and they're strong enough. I went over the 2 lines, the 2 rosters, with Barzal out for the Islanders and with Bergeron and Marchand out for Bruins. I was like, oh, the Islanders have a better roster. So this is an easy spot for me. Dan Kelly says, are you still recommending the Isles at minus 120, or did we miss it? Let's hear what Gogster has to say and give me a couple minutes to think on that. Take it away, Bruins Islanders.
This one's different than the other ones, guys. We're not getting a plus 170 down to plus 130. We're getting what it was, plus 115 to now minus 120. So we're going across the threshold around 50%. Now they're like 55 or 53, whatever the math is, for the Islanders to win. The one thing here, I'm just looking up Providence Bruins. I'm going to actually, hopefully, if COVID doesn't shut it down, I'm going to see Providence Belleville on Saturday. But I'm not going to be able to see Oscar Steen and Jack Studnicka. These are 2 top players for Providence. They have a lot of, especially the Studnicka, but Oscar Steen as well. He's been a top player for the Providence team. They're going to be called up. They're going to be in the lineup. They have offense, these guys. So the Islanders, I don't like this. This was a late addition I made, but based on Bergeron and Marchand and even Craig Smith, that's huge. But Providence, they are calling up some solid players. They also called up their goalie, Kyle Kaiser, and another forward here, Frodin. I'm not too familiar with him, but they've called up some top players from Providence who actually are pretty good. So This will be interesting. I could see it being an under game. If Allmark goes, guys, he's been pretty solid of late, 4-1 with a .941 save percentage. Defensively, Boston have all their top defensive players. So more I think about it, it's probably going to be a tighter game, probably going to lean to the under. But the play that at -120 might not be a top play on the card, but based on the injuries and everything, I would expect this is a time for the Islanders. They know they have to beat Boston here. They don't have Bergeron and they don't have Marchand. Guys, we're healthier than Barzell. I would expect a -120. I wouldn't like to take this line in the -130 range. I'll tell you that. But if you could even get the under, I almost want to talk myself into the under almost, but I have 10 picks on the card, guys. So we're going to stay off this one, but should be a good game. I think I'm interested in this one.
I will copy and paste that. So, I mean, there you heard it right there, Dan, that Gogster is still moving it on -120. I'm moving on at -120. For me, is and I just copied and pasted that. Ixnizel, thank you for sharing that. I guess I would still bet it, but it's not a must bet. So why don't you just put it down on the list right now and see if there's more spots that you would rather attack. But the main thing is for me is that they have to. The Islanders have to win here. They have to take advantage of it. It's now or never. They have to. They were taken advantage of, and now they have to reply in kind.
And if this was the Bruins, sorry, Jim, if this was the Bruins spine, like it's got bumps here, it's got bruises here, like the spine of the Bruins, the core, it's banged up right now. The spine's depleted.
Let's move on to the next spot on the card. 8 p.m. Eastern. Colorado Avalanche 17-7-2, 7-5-1 on the road at Nashville Predators 17-10-1, 8-5-0 home at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. So I moved on these Colorado Avalanche, and it wasn't my initial plan. I felt like I had to.
Yeah.
Their money line is at, well, I got them at -160 and the puck line at +150. So I got a -104, -1 line. Now the Avalanche are -180. And so beat that move by 20 cents. But when I looked at the situation for the Predators, I was like, how could anybody not make this bet? Yeah. So Kemper, 13-5-0, 2.77 goals against average, 907 save percentage. He hasn't been very good this year. UC Saros has been excellent. 13-8-1, 2.24 goals against average, 925 save percentage. Jared TG says depleted spine sounds like a metal band. It does. I agree.
There you go. Depleted spine.
The Avalanche keep on winning despite season-long injury issues. They come in off their fifth straight win, 4-2 at home over the Rangers on Tuesday. Their captain, Gabriel Landeskog, dealing with a lower body injury. Devin Taves was added to the COVID list. So 3 other defensemen are injured. Bowen Byram, Ryan Murray, and Jacob McDonald. Now, Ryan Murray and Jacob McDonald aren't that important. Devin Taves is. But they've been handling this all year long. And Makar and Gerard are going to play 30 minutes each. Nashville's rolling. They come in off their fifth straight win, 1-0 at the Rangers on Tuesday night. But look what's happened to them with COVID. I would say that the Avalanche on the -1 line are more of a must bet right now than the Islanders.
100%. That's exactly what I was going to say. Nashville are dead to rights. They're dead to rights here, guys. They're screwed.
Let's just go over the players that they're missing. Okay, so Matt Duchene has been excellent this year. He's trying to keep his career going. Ryan Johansson has also. They've both been. So you take out their top 2 centermen. Then
that's recently. That's recently too.
Exactly. Totally, absolutely right. And Michael McCarron and Philip Tomasino have filled the other center spots. So there's 4 centermen out of the lineup for the Predators. Then you have right wingers Michael Granlund and Matt Luff. You have 1 defenseman, Ben Harper. But you take 4 centermen off the Nashville Predators. And also, I would say this. Losing Bergeron is a huge loss. But I think, and I don't like these 2 hockey players at all, but I think losing Matt Duchene and Ryan Johansson is going to hurt the Predators, losing those 2 centermen more than Bergeron, the Bruins losing Bergeron. Because the Bruins have Charlie Coyle, and they have other centers that can win faceoffs, be accountable defensively. Let me just give a market move, and then you take it away, Gogster. So we have Colorado opening up at -145. They're now at -175 at Pinnacle. Take it away, my man.
Yeah, this is there's just too many injuries. You're going to probably see my local guy here, Nick Cousins from Belleville, Ontario. He'll probably have to get some some faceoff draws. I believe he did that back when he was in Philadelphia. So him going in the faceoff draws against guys with Colorado, their centerman. This is just going to be a really tough spot. Team total over, I would be probably taken for Colorado. Puck line, I wouldn't be taking necessarily the Nashville team total under. Just a couple injuries, like Jimmy said. You don't have Byram, a couple other defensive players. But for the most part, it's just going to be one offense is up here. The other one's going to be down here, guys. It's just opposite ends of the spectrum. Another depleted spine team here in Nashville. All over Colorado. Like this one a lot better than the Islanders. Had to take this one. I took this just before the show. I got it at -105 regulation. It went to -113, Jimmy. So we'll give it -113 regulation Colorado. I think that's a steal.
Yeah, this is a must bet in my estimation.
If they lose this, the world's really, it's coming to an end. If that's
Colorado regulation -113, an absolute must bet. You have to take advantage of these situations here. 4 centermen missing. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to 8 p.m. Eastern. Buffalo Sabres 9-15-4, 3-7-2 on the road at Minnesota Wild 19-8-1, 10-2-0 at home at XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. Is Malcolm Subban going to be in between the pipes for the Sabres? Because I saw that he was, and I wanted to fade Malcolm Subban, and I was not able to. Because the line was just too big. I could have taken the Wild -1.5 and -120. And now it's at -125. That's a legitimate option. That is a legitimate option. But what do we say? With the Wild, they're 10-2-0 at home. They're going to be an angry group and fire back. Yes, Matty Ice is on the under in the Rice game, and this pops off here in he tweeted out this morning under 151.5, and it pops off here in less than 30 minutes. That's the under Matty Ice is on in the Rice game, and he's in the chat right now. So if any questions about that spot, fire away. Mike M says Sabres coming off the big win. I don't see it happening twice. Buffalo team total under with Minnesota playing strong at home. Sammy says Wild at home, betting them trifecta. Buffalo's power play at 19.7%. They're a pretty healthy group. They've been playing a lot of the year without Casey Middlestad, and they're comfortable there. Tokarski's their lone member on the COVID list. He's injured anyways right now. Mm-hmm. They snapped their 7-game losing streak with a big 4-2 victory at home over Winnipeg on Tuesday. Minnesota comes in off back-to-back losses, 2-1 at the Kings on Saturday, 6-4 at Vegas on Sunday. They're a healthy group. Oh, fuck. Is this just a smash spot? And Billy Friedrich says Bressois now likely in net for Vegas. Look, Robin Lehner hasn't been that good. So it's not obviously we'd prefer Lehner, but that doesn't really bother me. Should we just take the Wild -1.5, or is
2 losses too? I didn't realize they're coming off 2 losses. Actually, to be honest, Minnesota. Buffalo. They also don't have Hag here. Robert Hag. That's a big player for them, offensive player. So I have a hard time seeing Buffalo here. What do I have for numbers, guys? They're 2.43 goals in the last month, 3.93 goals against. There's problems there. Luukkonen has a .939 save percentage, guys, and a 1.99 goals against. I don't see that lasting. Maybe he's on the rise. Him and Gustafsson are very similar goalies, in my opinion. Kind of came up with their AHL team and are now getting a chance. Luukkonen looking better than Gustafsson, but I think water falls levels out here with Luukkonen. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but I'm going to use it. And if Subban goes, I can't trust Subban. Malcolm Subban played here in Belleville. I would fade him as well. Talbot's in net. They're completely healthy too, guys. Minnesota, one of the few teams that are completely healthy in the NHL. Coming off 2 losses. Puck line, I had to play it here, guys. Just one of those ones Jimmy's kind of saying. In my opinion, it's almost a must play. One thing that happens to me in the past, though, guys, puck lines, they always get sniped in the rear here. 3-2, 4-3. I'm going to take the puck line, hoping I do expect them to win by 2, but just a warning. Very sketchy track record with puck lines, but we're going to rock with the puck line here at -121, Jim. Didn't get the best of the number here, but have a hard time seeing Minnesota lose. Not overthinking this NHL card kind of day.
So do I. Truth Teller says my shady ass book doesn't even offer -1 lines. Don't worry, mine doesn't either. We build our own. Yep. Truth Teller. So here's the calculator. This was given to us from Ron Crawford from the spreadsheet play of the day. Here we go. Yeah, Kyle Hintley, and we're heavy on both those squads, but we destroyed the line move on the Kings spot. Now, here's the question. So do we just expect Malcolm Subban to be in the lineup?
No, I would
And
expect Luke Hokanen to be in that, to be honest.
If that's the case, I don't think I want the -1.5. I'd have to pay -125. What are you paying?
-1.5 puck line right now is
Yeah.
-121.
Yeah. So, but then if they confirm Subban, then what does this become? -135, -140?
Yeah, it only goes up. But I don't think Luke Hokanen's here. It's an awful spot for the kid. His number's going to go way up here, guys. Don't get fooled by his numbers. I just can't take Buffalo here. I think it's the Minnesota puck line.
Yeah.
Hockey get.
And you know what? I wonder. So we've been getting really nice prices. Now I know I lost yesterday with the Rangers, but we've been getting really nice prices on that first period -0.5. Look at that, +115.
No, I wouldn't say no to that.
I think these are additions that I should probably make. Wild first period -0.5 at +115. That's a nice price.
I don't hate that. I expect them 60 minutes. As you say, I do like 60 minutes to beat a bad team over time, but coming off 2 losses, plus money, you're getting a better number too. I wouldn't say no to that.
I'm going to move on that. And Billy Friedrich line shop for you got you a -116 at Bookmaker for that Wild puck line.
Billy, you the man.
Now, again, if Luukkonen is in net, it wouldn't shock me if he stands on his head again. Will it be enough? I mean, I could see him standing on his head and they still lose 3 or 4-1. This is an angry Wild squad, and Everson will have them ready to go.
I say Wild score 5 goals.
I like that. Yeah, you'll love it, Truth Teller. You'll love it. It's use it, keep it, and it's enormously helpful in baseball, and we all love it. Okay, let's move on to 9 p.m. Eastern. Columbus Blue Jackets at Edmonton Oilers. Blue Jackets 14-12-1, 5-9-0 on the road. Oilers 16-11-0, 9-6-0 at home. Rogers Place, Edmonton, Alberta. Elvis Merzlikins. Look, I don't mean to, toot my own horn, and I'm losing in NHL so far this year, but I called Merzlikins, and the weight on his shoulders from his best friend's death is going to get heavier. And look, I don't know. I don't have personal information to see if he has, talked everything out and if he can move forward. But his statistical breakdown of the year indicates that his best friend's death was keeping him focused and was on his shoulder in those first few games of the year. And now he's alone without his best friend in Columbus, Ohio. And I think he's going to have a bad season. And I said when he was at 940, I said that we're going to see a 915 save percentage. I think we're going to see a 907 or 908 save percentage. I do not know how this young man is handling it, and I'm probably diving too much into it. Mike Smith might be coming back on his. Yeah, Mike Smith might be between the pipes tonight.
Wait, what? For who?
Mike Smith for the Oilers.
Oh my God! I thought he was retired. Okay. Jesus.
So Mike Smith could be back in that. Oh, Mike M says Puck Bunny play today. Columbus +170. Fading these Oilers has been cashing. Slatsy says Oilers team total +3.5 at -116. Oilers so due to explode here. I'm not going to sit here and expect this Oilers team to bounce back. Their defense has been getting battered of late, but they're getting healthier. They're still missing Chris Russell and Cuckoo. Their offense is completely stalled without Zach Hyman. Look how fragile this offense is. And we saw it when the Blackhawks eliminated them in the playoffs. Then they get Zach Hyman. They're able to use 2 lines, and they're incredible. As soon as Zach Hyman gets hurt, this team falls apart. Columbus comes in off their 3rd loss in 4 games, 4-3 at Vancouver on Tuesday. They had a 3-0 lead after the first, watched it slip away. Laine's been practicing, but isn't ready to return yet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom. I hope I do. The horses didn't help either last night. So I'm off this game. I don't feel comfortable here at all. The Oilers opened up at -194. They're now -211. And Mike Smith coming out. If Mike Smith is between the pipes, do you want to back them?
Well, I'll give Mike a couple games. How old's Mike, Jim? I think he's in his. I don't want to no shade against anyone in their 40s, but he's an older guy coming back playing hockey that's been off for a while. I was looking to the overs here. Jimmy said it too. Merzlikins and the weight of his What's that?
I was going to say 40, but he's 39. Yeah, he's
39. Sorry,
40.
he's up there. He's up there. But with Merzlikins and this Columbus defense, guys, if you remember last year, this was a good defensive team. They were an under team, but this year it's completely different. They're an over team. Offensively, they've been able to kind of keep up with teams. But this spot, Edmonton's lost a couple games. People have been fading Edmonton. Good on you guys. You have two penalty kills that are under 80% in the last month, so that's not a good sign if either one of these teams get on the power play. Koskinen and Merzlikins aren't top goalies by any means, so I'd have to look at overs, guys, but the numbers are too high in my opinion. I think it was 6.5 or even 6 to like minus 125, something like that, Jimmy, on the total. First period, I think was 1.5 around minus 140. So I don't like the numbers here. I don't like taking minus 140s on games that really, you have 10. I got 10 plays on. I got every single game, guys. I got action except this one. But if you're asking where I'd be looking, I would be leaning towards the over. Just offensive minded. If Edmonton can score, I expect it to be against Columbus here.
Yeah, it's now 6.5 for the pick'em.
Yeah.
And Francis Oilers have scored four goals last 4 games versus the Jackets. There's so many incredible spots on this card that have been screaming at me. So I'm not going to reach here. Let's go to the last game on the NHL card. Vancouver Canucks 13-15-2, 5-8-1 on the road at San Jose Sharks 15-13-1, 7-6-1 at home. SAP Center in San Jose, California. I saw that Birdie was on the Sharks, and I saw the back and forth between Birdie and Dennis Garcia last night. And I thought initially, well, I don't think I want to get in the way of the Canucks, even though all 5 wins under Gabby Boudreau have come at home. Mm-hmm. Their power play now at 19.2%. That was a big point of focus for me when I was like, look, this power play is going to end up around 24%. And as that number climbs, they're going to have value. Yeah. And their penalty killing still is struggling at 66.7%. Thatcher Demko is an elite goaltender, and he's showing that now. San Jose power play 19.2%, penalty killing at 86.1%. And right now there's been no movement. San Jose opened up at minus 119, they're now minus 121 at Pinnacle. I got the minus 125 as part of my minus 1. Andrew G says Nucks will turn into bait once they enter the Shark Tank. So this is just not. Now I understand what Dennis is saying about the defenseman here, like because they're missing 5 of them. So he's saying that Luke Shen, Tucker Pullman, and Brad Hunt, he used the term rats. And I love Luke Shen's character, and I would never call him.
Well, yeah, Luke Shen's assault, like he's not scoring a lot of offense for you, but he's like you say, your stay-at-home defenseman. You gotta like a guy like Luke Shen on your team.
His Corsi numbers are atrocious, and he just stands up for the players on his team. He's not someone that you want on the ice in any kind of important situation, but I do respect him as a hockey player. It's Travis Hamonic and Oliver Ekman-Larsson are added to the list. So now you have 5 defensemen out. And how long can Quinn Hughes and Tyler Myers play? And if Quinn Hughes is already going to hurt you defensively, what's going to happen when he's on the ice for 30 minutes in a game? Mm-hmm. So at that point, when you're missing 5 defensemen, how do you not fade this hockey team? The Sharks coming off their second loss in 3 games, 3-1 at home versus Kraken. This is also another part with the Dennis Garcia thing. This is the 5th game of a 6-game homestand, which is my favorite spot to back a hockey team. Not only that, it's the 5th game of a 6-game homestand after a loss, after 2 losses in 3 games, off of a 2-2 opening 4 games of a homestand. This is the 5th game of a 6-game homestand where they have to win. They need to win. And they're missing Rudolph Balcers, who you've spoken about here, and Kevin LeBanc. But to me, this is just I had to bet the Sharks -1. I got plus 122. Take it away, Gogster.
Oh boy, here we go. This might be the first one we're button heads here, Jim. I'm doing a first period Vancouver. I don't love it. I'm not seeing anything on Ekman-Larsson, Jim. I'm seeing that. I don't know if he's still out, if you can confirm that, but I don't see him on the injury report here. So if they can get him back, that I do like that addition for Vancouver. 2 goalies been playing solid lately. Demko, Reimer, save percentages in the last month, guys, .937, .934. really good goalies. The way, just like Jimmy's saying, it's a good spot for San Jose. 5th game in the last 6 homestand. Offensively, you would expect a better performance. 15% power play, not the greatest for San Jose, but Vancouver's got a pretty weak penalty kill. Missing defensive players too. I want to take the over, but the goalie stats, guys, it's kind of leaving me a little bit hesitant. I'm just going to ride the hot hand here in Vancouver first period. I could see it even pushing 0-0-1-1, but not one of the ones I love, but I did play this one, guys, on the overnight. I got it at plus 110. I saw it at plus 106 now on Vancouver Moneyline. I don't know if there's a better number. That was at Pinnacle. So we'll see. I know a lot of you guys in the chat are on San Jose, so it should be interesting. Yeah, let's cash this one. Should be only one Jimmy and I will be head to head here with. I could see Vancouver losing the full game, but I'm gonna ride the way they've been playing. First game on the road too with Brucey. So give me Vancouver first period money line here.
You're right. It's not COVID. He's dealing with an undisclosed injury.
Okay.
So, at this point here, he was expected to be back in the lineup at this point. And they were thinking they were going to get him back on Wednesday night, but he was a late scratch. So with all the defensemen hurt, then does he come back in? Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day is Vegas for Ron.
Oh, yeah.
Ron, do you want that? Because we're both on that as well, but do you want that in regulation or a -1?
It's around the same. I think it was 115, 117, anybody? Something like that.
Yeah, but truth teller, it's not 50-50. Remember, that's it's when you make the -1 bet, it's not 50% on the puck line and 50 on the money line. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
So spreadsheet play. Let me know, Ron, if you want that.
Regulation. He's got regulation.
Oh, it's got regulation?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Too, Roddy.
Okay, I'll pop that in here. Okay, let's review all action, and then we have Dutch Boy Fresh here to get into NFL. So spreadsheet play today. Vegas regulation.
We got action, guys. We got fucking action.
And it is confirmed, by the way, that the Hurricanes will be playing with 16 skaters tonight. 16 skaters.
Ooh.
So
Jesus.
With 6 players in COVID protocol, says they are allowed to do emergency recalls. Said we talked about this before the season. We knew this was going to happen. And he said this is a good challenge.
Oh, sure. That's yeah, you got to be positive, I guess. It's a good challenge.
Okay, so that is fact. So they're going to address 16 skaters tonight. And Canucks are plus 101 first period at a bookmaker. What did you get them at?
I got them at overnight was plus 110, but just before the show plus 106. So
okay,
whatever line you want to give, plus 101 current, plus 106 is what it was before the show, and I got it at plus 110 last night. So
okay, all right. Let's go over all of our action here. So Gogster. So we start with Flyers, Habs. Gogster's on the Flyers regulation at plus 119. I got the Flyers -1 at plus 113 last night. Then we have Gogster is on the Senators first period at plus 173. It's one of the few games I'm off. Mm-hmm. Gogster is on the Kings first period at plus 133. I got the Kings at plus 155 4 hours ago. And that is now, as we speak, still at plus 125. So beat that move by 30 cents. Let me just refresh this so I don't need to click on it. Then the next spot, spreadsheet play of the day for Ron Crawford is in, and the spreadsheet play of the day is
Vegas, baby.
Regulation. Gogster's on the Knights in regulation at -117. I'm on the Knights -1 at -115. Gogster's on the first period under 1.5 -103 and the under 5.5 at -110. I'm on the Red Wings at plus 167. It's 150 now, so beat that move by 17 cents. Gogster is on the Islanders at -120. I bet this morning again. This was 4 hours ago at plus 115, and the Islanders now are sitting at -130. So beat that move by 45 cents just 4 hours ago. Colorado regulation for Gogster at -113. I'm on the Avalanche -1 at -104. And I think with them missing 4 centers, this might be the best bet on the board.
I'd even throw a puck line in there if you want to get crazy, guys.
Yeah, I've already bet it, and I got a fine line. But at this point, once that -1 becomes like a -120, then I get puck line. Gogster's on the Wild, -1.5, -116. It's available right now, bookmaker. I am going – now, look, I want Subban in goal, and if Luukkonen's in goal, I'll be a little uncomfortable with it, in all honesty. But Wild first period, -. You know what? I guess I have to wait. It's going to mean I'm going to get a worse line. I need to know that it's Subban, and if I get a worse line, so be it. But I do not want to go against Luukkonen even for 20 minutes at a plus line. So
check the Buffalo beat writers, guys, on Google, Twitter, Buffalo beat writers. And
if anybody can help me, and Housecat says Vegas -1 still is a +100 at Sports Interaction. That's wild.
Going on, Butcher.
Yes, walking spotted bear. Now we are NHL cappers. You know, we're very close to the sport.
We're from the north.
But it's always been my best sport. So Sweaty Butcher in the house. Okay, so then Columbus, Edmonton, no move for us. Then Gogster's on the Canucks first period. That's at a +101 at bookmaker. And I'll see if Pinnacle's better. I'm on the Sharks -1 at +122. And that is everything, right, Gogster?
That's the card, baby. Let's rock.
All righty, Gogster, thank you so much for rolling with us. Follow our guy on Twitter at EGO47_. And he'll be on the show again tomorrow. And I'm a little bit behind on record keeping this week, so I'm going to work on that, and I'll have all of his records up here shortly. But I'm a little behind. He was rolling really nicely. Gogster, any last words for these Cappers Sporting Show?
Oh, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. You know, just appreciate you guys as always here. You know, Donkey Bong, Truth Teller, Walking Spotted Bear, Eric Thomas, a lot of new faces here. Shout out to the Sweaty Butcher, Mark Schillingberg, Ronnie, all the OGs here. I got to see Twatty Latte. Haven't seen him in a while in the chat. Schnizzle, you name it. All you guys, Dan Kelly, thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and everyone else we didn't get to mention. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, not hopefully, we expect to have our pockets a little fatter. And yeah, let's enjoy the night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. And leche, elos, bookmakers, get that cash.
There he is, Mr. Gogster in the house. All right, we move on to Thursday night football, and your special guest joins us every Thursday. And this division, the AFC West, is very near and dear to his heart. Please welcome to the show the freshest capper in the game. Dutchy, what's happening, my man?
Jimmy the motherfucking Bear. Salute, my guy. How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm better now than I have been. I got destroyed last night, and just everything just went wrong, and it was one of those nights, and I know they happen, a handful of times a year, but it doesn't make it any easier to handle, especially fucking 10 days before Christmas. So it was it hurt, dude. And I'm looking forward to cap the NBA card with you after this, see if you can get me out of my bullshit. And but I'm hurting, I'm angry, and I'm trying not to think about it. How you doing?
Yeah, man. To be real, I'm right with you, Jim. Yesterday was probably the worst day I've had in the NBA season. I lost like 4 units, 0-3, but it was just like the fact of how I lost. The sides, just completely wrong sides, to be completely honest with you. I had the Pacers first half, that didn't work out, and then I had the Spurs and the Nuggets, which all three teams, motherfuckers, shot 50% plus from the 3-point line. I was looking up, like it was just unreal. So complete wrong side. So I'm ready. I'm angry. Woke up salty as a motherfucker, ready to get that bread. Attack this card. And real quick, Jim, I don't know if you seen my text because you're a very busy man, especially pre-show. I hit you with the Jimmy Hoffa rules. Did you know what I mean by that, my man? No. I don't know if you even seen it.
No.
Okay. Yeah, the Jimmy Hoffa rules. Yeah, it's like so like when you set a time, a meeting or something, it's like you say a 10-minute window. Anything more than 10 minutes, right? If you're later than 10 minutes, you're pretty much saying fuck him. So, are you trying to say fuck me, Jimmy?
No,
I'm just busting
buddy.
your balls, bro. But yeah,
No.
man. And then he'd be like, he'd tell him, hey, and who wears shorts to a fucking meeting? I don't know if you ever seen The Irishman, but if you haven't, check out Pacino and just a little Jimmy Hoffa. But yeah, he don't like motherfuckers being late. and meeting.
No, thank you for your patience, Dutchy. Thank you for your patience, buddy.
It's all good, bro.
Let's get right to work here with Thursday night football. Kansas City Chiefs and LA Chargers. So my dad is at this game tonight, and he has asked me to send in a $20 bet on the Chiefs. And usually I would just pocket it. But after last night, I was like, you know what? I'll just send this shit in. The fuck. That's what these fucking bookies are for, right? And so I just sent it in. But he, other than this last time he did it, the last time he did it was when the Vikings were at SoFi. And I just pocketed that money. And, of course, the Chargers laid an egg.
I remember that. Yeah.
The Chiefs opened at 3.5 at plus money at Pinnacle. They're now -3. It does look like the public is coming in on them. Total at 49.5 is now at 52.5. When we go to the cash flow in this spot, we have 23,428 tickets in. And it couldn't be more clear that the Sharps are on the Chargers. 28% of the tickets are on them and 66% of the cash. And that's with a big sample size of 23,428. Then you have 71% of the tickets on the over and 66% of the cash. So some moves coming in for the under. My whole breakdown is on our YouTube page with Bebenek, and I don't want to sit here and repeat myself. But the crux of the piece was that this defense changed when they had both for the Chiefs, when they had Frank Clark and Melvin Ingram and Chris Jones all on the field at the same time, because it allowed Chris Jones to move back to the outside. When they had him on the inside, he just wasn't getting free, wasn't getting loose. So now Chris Jones is on the COVID list. I keep checking the COVID list to see because I still couldn't even get whether he's vaccinated or not. Because if he's vaccinated, he has a chance, to play. And I would bet the under if Chris Jones was in the lineup. And so not knowing that made me uncomfortable. We know that Keenan Allen was on the COVID list. He is back. And that's a big, big deal. And this Chargers defense has looked much, much better over the last couple of weeks. Both these defenses have looked much better. All right, we have Sammy Coleman says, rumors Chris Jones didn't travel. That explains the small line movement, I believe. Saturated says KC defense will smash. James S. saying Jones is out. All right, let's go to our Dutch boy Fresh. Take it away. Thursday night football. You've been running very hot on this show on Thursday nights. What do you like here?
Yeah, man. Jim, real quick, you have action on you. Do you have the Chiefs at the under or no?
I have nothing. I was going to bet the under if I knew that Jones was in.
I see. Okay. And usually I would, hit you with a little for all that red, but I think I like it tonight, man. I think it's a sign because I do like the Chiefs tonight. I think we've got a very good game tonight. But you've touched on a lot, Jim, and I believe Melvin Ingram, when he came, that was a great signing from the Chiefs. Changed everything. Obviously, we would like to have Jones out there. But it starts with the 6-game winning streak, starts with the defense. The Chiefs have caused 17 turnovers the last 6 games in the win streak, Jim. 3+ takeaways the last 3 games. 10 sacks in that span as well in the last 3 games. Now they've been allowing 10 points per game the last 6 games, Jim. Now from the offensive standpoint, we're obviously the main engine with Mahomes and the boys. Now the offensive line, which they had some fixing, obviously fixed off season. It's only allowed 24 sacks this year. That's good for 7th in the league. That's 2 per game. Now on the other side of that, the Chargers D's only accumulated 29 sacks, middle of the road, 18th in the league. They do have big names, but the numbers aren't really there. Now the Chiefs have scored 45% of their drives. That's 3rd best in the NFL. Take a lot of hits on the Chiefs early on for the record and the way they played, but that offense has still been putting up numbers. That's 45% of the time. Now, the Chargers have allowed 33 touchdowns in the red zone, 2nd most in the NFL. Doesn't bode well for them tonight, I don't believe. The Chargers have allowed 10 touchdowns to tight ends. That's 2nd most in the NFL. Now the Chiefs come in with 8 from the tight ends. That's 3rd most in the NFL. And obviously Travis Kelce has done most of that. He's actually got 6 touchdowns on the season. He hasn't scored in the last 2 weeks. Now he's actually been pretty quiet, Jim, the last 2 weeks. Total combined last 2 games, lost 6 catches, 46 yards. Not Travis Kelce we've come to see. Now, when these two teams did play in week 3, the Chargers got him in Arrowhead, and Kelce had a great game, 7 catches for 104 yards. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that of Travis Kelce tonight, but they have been spreading the ball around. That's what Mahomes has been doing. He hasn't been focusing on Travis Kelce as much, focusing on the cheetah as much, Tyreek Hill. He's been spreading the ball. It's literally, Gordon, you name it. Anybody who's open, he's moving it. Now, we need a good game from Mahomes. He had an 81% quarterback rating, 3 touchdowns to 2 picks in that game, week 3. He hasn't had the best numbers. He looked great last week against the Raiders. The only 2 games he's actually had 100 quarterback rating or plus, Jim, is against the Raiders this year. So I look for him to take advantage of, being under the lights tonight against the suspect, I believe, defense, the Chargers, that have a lot of names, but won't be able to get pressure on Mahomes. So he'll have time to do what he wants, distribute the ball. And I think Travis Kelce will have a big game tonight. I'm going touchdown. First off, I do have the Chiefs full game, Jim, and I'm going Travis Kelce touchdown plus 110. This is available at DraftKings. It was minus 110 at a couple other books, so I believe the 110 is very good value right there. And then also, I believe we'll get some points here. I do believe the Chiefs are going to win and make plays on defense, but turnovers cause points as well, and they affect the over/under in games. So I'm staying away from that, but I do believe there will be points overall in this game, Jim. Herbert in week 3 had 4 fucking touchdowns, played like unreal against this Chiefs defense. I personally believe they'll take that a little more personal. This is a division rival, and I believe they remember that. And this ain't the same defense as they were in week 3. But I'm going to look at this guy, Jalen Guyton. I believe the number is there strictly from value at over 23.5 receiving yards, minus 110. Now, he's had back-to-back games of 90 yards receiving, touchdown in each game, 7 targets, 7 receptions. So whenever Herbert sees that, whenever Herbert throws it his way, he catches it. I think he'll continue to throw his way. He's had a reception for 59 yards and 44 yards last 2 games. He'll get this 23.5 on 1 motherfucking reception, Jim.
I get it. I get it. My what's keeping me off making a move here at this spot is twofold. The main thing is that I have seen a lot of improvement from these defenses the last couple of weeks. I don't know if it's real, and the public certainly doesn't think it's real, or thinks that Chris Jones being out of the lineup is enough for someone to bet the move on the over. So
when I seen a 4, I was definitely looking Chargers way. Then I dug into it a little bit more, and I think the Chiefs minus 3 is there. Now, real quick, not to cut you off, my man, but one big stat I didn't get out to say. This is one stat that I definitely really like. The Chiefs are best in the NFL on third down conversion rate at 53%. The Chargers allow conversion rate at 49%, second worst in the NFL. I don't believe they'll be able to get the Chiefs off the field. And the main thing is keep fucking Bosa off. Keep Bosa. If you got a double, triple team, whatever you do, if you keep Bosa off Mahomes, it's going to be a breeze.
Yeah, look, I get it. I completely get the idea here. I don't know. The Chiefs. So B-Ball says I'm heading to the game as well. Says Chiefs have won 6 in a row, but not impressive. Only good teams they beat: Green Bay with Rodgers out, Dallas with Cooper out, and CD only playing briefly. I'm nervous to fade the Chiefs, or I would have just taken my dad's bet, obviously.
Right.
So I sent that in. I was like, look, I'm not going to. So I'm nervous. So you have Chiefs minus 3. It's available right now, minus 113 at Pinnacle. You have Kelce anytime TD at plus 110. And Guyton props, are you making official?
Yeah, let's lock that in. Jalen Guyton over 23.5 receiving yards, minus 110.
Over 23.
Keenan's coming back, obviously, off COVID. They got Mike Williams. But I don't know if Keenan is going to be, I don't want to say he's not. That guy's a stud. So, but I believe he'll look for Guyton.
Yeah, all of this does make sense to me. So when we go towards the injury issues, I thought we talked about Legere Sneed's brother dying. He was stabbed, and his parents were in prison growing up, and his brother raised him. And I thought Legere Sneed was going to be back in the lineup. He's not. So he's still out, and he's still in his hometown dealing with the fallout there. Then this Chargers defense that's looked so much better didn't have Derwin James last week, and I believe he pulled his hamstring in practice on Friday, and he's listed as questionable here. Now, they didn't need Derwin James against the Giants, but they're sure as hell going to need him here. And then you still have Asante Samuel dealing with the concussion, and we don't know how it's going in that protocol. You have Austin Eckler, questionable with an ankle injury. Everybody thinks he's going to play, but we don't have any proof at this point. Mike Williams has been dealing with the heel injury, and he's fine. Looks like he'll be able to play here. So the Chargers have enough question marks for me to be uncomfortable backing them, and I am afraid to go up against. Now, do you think that the Sharps are on the Chargers just because of the ROI of a divisional home dog this time of year?
Exactly what it is, Jim. They can't pass up anything more than a field goal on a home dog. That's what it is. And that's why, to be completely honest with you, I was like, fuck, I got to be on the Chargers +4, 3.5 when I looked at it. And then obviously the lines went more down throughout the week. I was able to break the game down a little bit more. And the Chiefs, to me, the Chiefs, you could say they haven't been impressive, but when you average fucking 10 points, when you've allowed 10 points per game over a 6-week span, I don't give a fuck who you're playing. That's impressive. This Chiefs D has came, they roused to what all the criticism that everyone was giving them. The offense, I believe, is, we still haven't really seen the elite offense. I mean, last week they looked great. But to me, this comes down to, you touched on it. The big question mark is Derwin James. That hammy is no joke. We know that. And you're going against an elite athlete like Travis Kelce out there. Derwin James, I know you said they didn't need him against the Giants. The Giants, that don't even matter. Like, Derwin James is the captain of that defense, and without him, and I even believe if he will suit up on a short week with the hammy, he won't be right. And that's one of the big reasons I look Kansas City. I didn't touch on that. And really, what this comes down to as well, Jim, is the run game. I mean, Eckler's a little beat up. You got whoever you want to throw back there with the Chiefs, but I believe whatever run game can kind of actually, get 4 yards to carry and keep the defense off the field and remain that offense on there, will control this game as well. So Eckler being beat up is another, I think, edge towards the Chiefs.
Well, thank God we have Dutchie on the show, because I'm going to sit here and be a deer in the headlights. I kind of lean towards North Ender, who says too many moving parts right now for me. If you like KC, bet it now. And if you like the Chargers, you should probably wait. I completely agree with all of that. And Andrew G says all the smart, sharp people are on the Chiefs -3. So Andrew G says that.
I'll take that, Andrew.
Dutchie's on the Chiefs -3, -113. Kelce touchdown +110. Guyton over 23.5 receiving yards. Jojo Rich says, where is it? He has one play, and that's the first half under. Says, I do believe we see points later in the third. That was going to be my bet if Chris Jones was in the lineup. Without Chris Jones, without knowing about Derwin James, and it seems pretty clear right now that Chris Jones will not be in the lineup. Mike M, curb stomp, play of the days on KC -3 as well. And Razor Sharp says you get 3 points for being at home. So if the game was in KC, would it be a 9? No, I mean, it would be a 6, right? But
it'd be like 6.5 at the most, probably. I think it'd probably go up to 7. Motherfuckers bet that shit up.
If this was in Kansas City and the Chiefs were -7, I would be all over the Chargers. Now, I would want to know if Derwin James was in the lineup, but I still think that the Chargers could keep it close enough with Herbert's antics late.
Yeah, I mean, Herbert's a stud, man. He's going to keep you in the game.
Yeah.
He doesn't turn over the ball either. I mean, I really like the kids, but I just think the Chiefs are just a better team right now.
I agree. The Chiefs are playing good football. Chiefs are playing good football. And I'm off. Rob Stevens says the Chargers scored 21 points off of Kansas City's 4 turnovers, so you take that away, and Kansas would have beat them hands down in that last meeting. Yeah, I hear that as well. Okay, so there you have it. That is the Chiefs Chargers. Let's just do one last review of where the cash is. We now have 24,134 tickets in, 28% of the tickets, 66% of the cash on the LA Superchargers. And we have 29% of the tickets, 35% of the cash on the under. I'd be curious to see how high it goes up, and I'd like to know that Derwin will be in the lineup. And by the way, Matty Ice is under in the Rice game, looking very, very good. Very, very good.
Out to the tank.
Mike M says they're saying the 6 here plus the 3 for home field. That makes 9. What do you mean they're saying 6 here? It's a 3 and 3 for home field. Okay. Let's move on. That is Chiefs Chargers. And again, Dutchie's on the Chiefs -3, -113. Kelsey TD +110. Guyton over 23.5 receiving yards. Okay, let's move on to NBA. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Detroit Pistons at Indiana Pacers. We have Pacers opening up as 10-point favorites. Let's move to 10.5 at some books. And this total opened up at 210.5 and is down at 209.5 at some spots. Then we go over to the cash flow in this game, and we have 4,968 tickets in, 43% of the tickets on the under, 63% of cash on the under. Then for the total, we have 39% of tickets. Oh, sorry. Jesus, sorry. I said we have 43% of tickets on the Pacers and 63% of cash on the Pacers. So we see the half-point move towards them. Then we have 39% of tickets on the under and 77% of cash on the under. We're in Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Indianapolis, Indiana. These Pistons 2-11 on the road. Pacers 9-7 at home. Detroit is on their 12-game losing streak. They over the last 5, they're 7th in pace at 98.74 possessions a game. Indiana 3-2 over the past 5, 29th in pace at 93.80 possessions a game. The Pistons were outscored 30-13 in the fourth quarter and fell to Brooklyn 116-104 on Sunday night. And Durant set the Little Caesars Arena record with 51 points. Detroit playing their first game without or knowing also that Jeremy Grant will be out at least 6 weeks. Cade Cunningham stepped up 26-8-6 with 3 steals, but had 7 turnovers. He also went 5 for 8 from 3. So he's hitting 47.6% from 3 over the last 6 games. And their game on Tuesday was canceled due to COVID. So this is a rested group. The Pistons are 2 losses away from tying the franchise record for most consecutive defeats. Pacers are on the second half of a back-to-back after an ugly 114-99 loss last night at a severely undermanned Milwaukee squad. When it was going into the fourth quarter, I thought, oh, this is perfect. Indiana's lost 2 straight following a 3-game winning streak, outscored 27-12 in the fourth quarter. Carlisle reminds in COVID-19 protocols. Also, that scathing article is now out and being passed around to everybody about what Carlisle was like in the player, personal relationship side of things. The Pacers had 19 turnovers last night. They looked absolutely terrible. Here we go. Dutchie, Pistons, Pacers. Should they be a double-digit favorite?
Oh man, I don't believe so, Jim. This is a tough card. I haven't placed a bet yet, actually. I like a lot of things here, but I'm just hesitant a little bit. And I believe here that we simply will be getting a better number, which already it's up 0.5 point. Because I believe people will be coming in on the Pacers simply just because of the Pacers or the Pistons fade. But you touched on a lot, Jim, and obviously the rest issue. I mean, shout out to our guy Ski. If we just went strictly off of rest, which my man really likes, this is a clear Pistons spot. You touched on that game being canceled. They haven't played. They've had quite a few days to think about how many fucking games they've lost in a row. But one of the games they have won was November 17th. They beat the Pistons. They beat the Pacers outright. They won outright. 6.5-point dogs in Detroit. They win. Now they covered not only that game, but they covered the first quarter, first half as well. Now the prior 2 meetings last year, Jim, the Pacers did win those games. The average margin of win was 5 points per game. They're 3-6 straight up in their last 9. The Pacers are, in a back-to-back situation. You touched on it. They're 2-2 straight up and 2-2 against the spread in the back-to-backs this year. It's their 4th game in 6 nights. I realistically think the only way you could look here, Jim, is the Detroit Pistons. It's hard to say that. It's even hard for me to hear it, definitely to say it. But I believe, 10.5, 11, if it gets up there around 11.5, I might have a unit on the motherfucking Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, I get why you would. What do you think of this total sitting here at 209.5? It's gone down a point.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to stay away from them totals, Jim. To be honest with you, 209.5 seems very low. But the Pacers or the Pistons they just don't have it. They're without Jeremy Grant. I mean, so I would expect them to play some defense and try to keep this game close. So I would hope the under would be a look. But yeah, no play for me from the total perspective. And also with we talked about it before with the trade talks and stuff with the Pacers, how it wasn't going to affect them from coming up top. Now it seems like it's coming actually from the players. Sabonis, I believe, spoke out, is saying that he wants out. Now we've known that they probably all felt that, but when you start talking about it, it becomes a distraction in the locker room now. So that's another check mark I could give to the Pistons, honestly, in this game as well. I believe they're going to start being distractions now when the players are actually coming out saying they don't want to be there. It's a little different story when the front office is talking about it. They can kind of rally around and say, okay, well, I'm not saying they're not going to show up, but I'm talking about as a team, we might see it affect them a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. And he looked atrocious last night. What do you have? 16 points and 7 turnovers, I think.
Yeah, he was all fucking flustered. I mean, he still rebounded, but yeah, he was flustered like a motherfucker without Giannis out there.
Yeah, absolutely gross.
He's a big piece too. So I mean, LeVert's coming around. He's playing solid, but I think the Pistons are, the Pacers win this game, but you're gonna give me double digits. I believe we have to look Detroit.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Let's move on to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Next spot on the board: Philadelphia 76ers 15-13, 9-7 on the road at Brooklyn Nets 20-8, 9-5 at home. We're at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. We have these Nets opening up as 1.5-point favorites. Let's move to 1 at a few books. This total opened up at 213.5. That's shot up to 216.5. Philadelphia is 2-3 over their past 5, 26th in pace at 95 possessions a game, while Brooklyn 4-1, 13th in pace at 98.25 possessions a game. Sixers are on the second half of a back-to-back after losing last night 101-96 at home to an undermanned Miami Heat squad. It was ugly. You have 4,072 tickets in. And just like the Pacers, who looked bad last night on the first half of back-to-back, the Sharps are on the Sixers. 32% of the tickets, 66% of the cash on the Sixers. So they lose to the Heat, who are without Butler, Hero, and Bam. The Sixers trailed Miami by 11 after 1. They're down 23 in the third quarter, and then they did come back and tie up the game. Embiid, 17 points, 14 boards in 37 minutes after sitting out Monday due to rib soreness. Can you make a bet on the Sixers expecting him to be back in the lineup or being certain that he's going to be back in the lineup? He's averaging 27.5 points in his past 6 games, and he did roll his ankle at the end of the game. Nets coming off a third straight win, 131-129 at home in overtime over the Raptors on Tuesday night. So they're going for their 4th straight win without Aldridge, Bembry, Harden, Bruce Brown, Javon Carter, James Johnson, and Paul Millsap. So they're using the hardship exception to add players. They've signed Langston Galloway. Durant has been everything. He played 48 minutes in that 131-129 overtime win, 34 points, 13 boards, 11 assists, and he was questionable due to an ankle injury. So this is the new starting lineup. It's Durant with Blake Griffin, Patty Mills, Nick Claxton, and David Duke Jr. Their bench is Kessler Edwards, Cam Thomas, and Day'Ron Sharp. Jesus. I mean, talk about multiple angles in this cap. Take it away, Dutchie. Sixers, Nets.
Yeah, man. I like the Sixers here, Jim. I like them. I do like them here. And to be I haven't placed a bet on this game yet, first half or full game, but I do like them here. I don't bet first quarters, but I think this could be a trifecta spot here. And the reason why I haven't bet it yet is because I'm waiting on Embiid, and I honestly wouldn't be mad if he's. I don't want to say I don't want him to play, but I'll get a better number, and I'm very happy with Andre Drummond in there. And yes, that's what I said. Say what you will about Andre Drummond, but I like that motherfucker out there to rebound right now. That's what the Sixers need is rebounding. That's what this game will come down to me personally. If they can out rebound or at least keep it even with the Nets, There's no way, I believe personally, they'll lose this game. Now, the Nets obviously have a lot going on, and this is capped based off of all the motherfuckers they got out that my guy Jimmy just mentioned. But they haven't been a team that we've wanted to back at the house with all their horses in the lineup. Now, the Nets are 0-6 ATS last 6 at the house. They're 3-10-1 against the spread this year at home. Not very good. They play a lot better on the road. They're 0-4 ATS last 4 versus a team with a winning record, and they're 4-8 ATS in their last 12 games. And now you're taking out half their fucking team. You're getting a Sixers team, yes, off a back-to-back, but an embarrassing loss at home to a Miami team that was missing the 3 top heads. So now we look at it as on a back-to-back. The Sixers are 1-1 ATS in backs-to-backs this year against the spread. Now, these two teams did play, Jim, October 22nd. The Nets were plus 12 in rebounds. That's what I'm trying to tell you right now. This game is about rebounds. Now, they had Harden, Harris, and Aldridge in there, equaled 57 points in that game. Obviously, they'll be without them 3 plus 3 to 4 more cats. Now, the bench led that game by the Nets 40-23. I don't believe that'll happen tonight simply because the guys that Jim just mentioned off the bench, they don't have fucking nobody to bring off the bench. Sixers are fully equipped, which is very surprisingly the showing they had last night. They got all their guys back, so they're very deep right now. I believe they had Niang out with COVID and maybe one more, but other than that, they're 8-9 deep right now. Now the prior 2 matchups, Jim, the Sixers both won. So straight up wins by the Sixers prior 2 matchups. They're 9-3 straight up in the last 12 versus Brooklyn, so they like seeing the Nets. And now they have lost 3 of the last 4. Sixers. This is what I'm telling you. It comes down to rebounding. 3 of the last 4, they've been out rebounded by a total of 39 fucking points. Rebounds. 13 rebounds per game. They've been out rebounded 3 of the last 4 games, which were losses. The one game they won against the Golden State Warriors, they were plus 2 in a rebounding mark. Rebound the ball. If Embiid ain't gonna rebound the ball, bring Andre fucking Drummond in there to get you 15 to 20 rebounds. Guard the perimeter. KD can get his. Don't let Patty Mills get fucking double-digit 3-point attempts, and this should be an easy win here for the Sixers. I think this is a get-right spot here, a feel-good spot, beating Brooklyn when they're down here from Embiid, and he can hop and get all happy about it. So I like the Nets here, full game. I like the Sixers here, Jim, full game and first half, my man.
Do you want the point or half point, or do you want money lines?
Yeah, we'll do. I don't want the points. No. All
right. Well, let's line shop for you right now. I'm going to bring up Circa as well.
It's only one now. It's only one, right? Full game.
Yeah, 1 or 1.5. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do money lines on both.
Do you think that one should find out about Embiid? I mean, it feels like the market's set up for Embiid to be in the lineup, but your idea.
Go ahead.
I like your idea about the idea that if Embiid's out, you still like it, you'll get a better number.
Yeah. So for show purposes, I would make it official right now for you. But if you don't mind, I would wait and I could get a better number if Embiid's out. But I don't mind making it. I mean, if Embiid's in, like I said, I just think that's strictly just off of me betting. I think I could get a better number and I'm still comfortable with it. So there's no reason for me to rush. But I think Embiid will play off of that performance last night. The little ankle injury is a question mark, though. I didn't really see how bad it was, to be honest with you.
Yeah, either did I. R says Sixers would blow them out with Drummond. Danny Lucas says I can see Embiid being a late scratch.
Yeah, then you're probably going to get 3, right? 1.5? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, those will be plays. First half full game. So I'll just tweet them out probably by my show. Follow me at 1 or after the show.
Okay, so why don't we wait to make it official then here? I mean, I think that's what you'd prefer to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I like Drummond out there. They just need to rebound, Jim. I mean, these guys that they got suited up for Brooklyn, if they just can out-rebound them. Curry had an off night last night, only 7 points. You should bounce back. You got Tobias Harris. I mean, you got Danny Green, Milton, and Drummond coming off the bench. Or obviously, if Drummond's in the lineup, you don't. But those right there would be starting guys and would be starting lineup for Brooklyn right now, that you're bringing off the bench. So off an embarrassing loss. I think it's a nice, very nice Sixer spot.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with you there as well. Schnizzle says 76ers today might be my only play. I'm going to do the same as you. So I'm going to keep it in ear to what you're up to and when you decide to make that official. And everybody should be following Dutchy on Twitter as well. Let's move on to the next spot on the card, 8 p.m. Eastern. New York Knicks 12-16, 7-6 on the road at Houston Rockets, 9-18, 7-6 at home at Toyota Center. In Houston, Texas, we have New York 1-4 over their past 5, 28th in pace at 94.2 possessions a game, while Houston is 2-3, 20th in pace at 97.30 possessions a game. We have, that's money line. Let's move over here. We have the Knicks opening up at -5. That's where they stand across the board. This total opening up at 215. There are some 214s on the board right now. We have 4,715 tickets in. 33% of the tickets are on the Rockets and 52% of the cash. Then you have 52% of the tickets on the under and 21% of the cash. The Rockets were a shadow of what we'd seen lately from them without their top 4 scorers. Christian Wood with a knee injury, Eric Gordon with a groin, Jalen Green with a hamstring, and Kevin Porter with a thigh, all sidelined. And then Silas left the bench due to dehydration in the first quarter. So they were just an absolute mess last night in that 124-89 loss at Cleveland. Knicks coming off their 4th straight loss, 105-96 at home to the Warriors on Tuesday night. They've lost 7 of 8. They're in 12th place in the Eastern Conference. RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin are out due to COVID protocols. I'll look up and see if I can get the latest information and see if any of those Rocket players are back. Maybe Dutchy knows. But let's take it away here, Dutch. Knicks Rockets.
Yeah, man. To be honest with you, Jen, this would be what I would call simply backwood. But, we got 4 games, and I can't come with nothing for you. So I'm going to give you something. But, I don't know who's in or out for the Rockets, to be honest with you. But the Knicks, I can't fuck with them. I would think this would be a Knicks spot here. But the way I've seen them shoot that basketball against the Warriors that we were on, and I still believe that was the right side. I mean, they covered first quarter, first half. Didn't get the full game. I mean, everything. I just feel like everything there was right, and the Knicks still can't fucking get it right. Now they're missing even more players. The kid Knox is back in COVID off. So they don't really have the cats. They really don't. But it sounded like the Rockets won't either. So I can't put my money on this game. But if you force me to, the numbers do say the Rockets would be the play. But like I mentioned, with these injuries, I don't know if we could take these in effect. But they're 5-0 ATS last 5 as a home dog, 8-1 last 9 as an underdog against the spread, 8-3 straight up in the last 11 overall. The Rockets have been making a lot of people money if you've been backing them. Unfortunately, I have not. The Knicks are 1-6 ATS last 7 and 1-7 straight up in their last 8 basketball games. This could be the get right spot for the Knicks. But I won't be backing them here, Jim.
Yeah, understandably so. They have Wood as slim chance to play tonight, so he's unlikely. Eric Gordon will be back here, so at least I'll have Eric Gordon there. Now, they say there's said right groin tightness, but it's a rest spot for Eric Gordon, so he's expected to be back in action. And then we'll have to wait if anybody wants to back this Rockets team to see if anybody else comes back. R says shocked if the Knicks don't crush. Nathan Cerna, so we don't have Wood confirmed out, but slim chance. Wham Bam in the chat. Great to see you. Troy Wham says, Armani Brooks let me down. I have to bet it again. Daryl Lyles liking Knicks first half. Jared TG says Knicks is a favorite. No thanks. And Schnizzle talking about that Philly spot says, I'll take it again if Embiid's out. In 2-unit play, I think they went outright if Embiid's out. So backing you up there. So Knicks, Rockets, just a backward.
Yeah, it's a backward, man. But I do agree with that stood out to me, though, because that was my first instinct was I believe it was Daryl who said Knicks first half, that -2.5. I wanted to bet that. And then I started thinking a little more, coming in. I just didn't want to start pressing buttons. But that was definitely a look if you had to bet this game. If you wanted to hit the motherfucking backwood one time, Knicks first half would be it, Jim.
So we talked about this a month ago, and Nut Flush Allen's followed through with it. And much to his bank account's happiness, he's been hammering the team totals against the Houston Rockets every single game. And here's an interesting one.
Boy, juicy number today.
Yeah, it's nice and low. I mean, look at that. I mean,
if Fournier hits some threes, that's what it comes down to. Can Alec Burke? Can he hit the fucking rim? That guy. Oh my god! Like, stop fucking shooting threes when you're 1 for 10.
109.5 seems manageable here.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Come down to this, and Knicks hitting some threes. I mean, shit. If I was Tibbs, I might even throw Kemba Walker out there. I mean, they don't have anybody. I didn't understand why they didn't even give him a run the way they were shooting the ball against Golden State. And I'm not a Kemba guy, but I mean, come on. When you look down that bench, I mean, maybe he'll get hot.
Huh, okay. I guess. And if it was the Knicks first half and Knicks first half team total over would seem to be correlated plays that make sense here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't go against what Nuff Flesh has been doing with that team total. I knew it'd be a low number too. It's been an insane outcome for him. I would ride that trend, but from what I've seen from the Knicks, I wouldn't bet anything over. I would just ask him to fucking be up by 3 points at halftime, please.
All right, let's move on to the last game of the NBA card here. That is Washington Wizards at Phoenix Suns. There is no college basketball today on the show. Max has had something come up, so this is our final game before we do the review of everything. 9 p.m. Eastern, Washington Wizards 15-13, 7-9 on the road at Phoenix Suns 22-5, 12-2 at home. Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. You have Washington on the second half of a back-to-back here. This Suns opened up at 8. Pinnacle moved it to 8.5. The other books have moved it to 9. This total opened up at 214.5. Now we see 213s across the board. Washington 1-4 over their past 5, 24th in pace at 96 possessions a game, while Phoenix 3-2, 10th in pace at 98.55 possessions a game. Ron Crawford spreadsheet spots are Pacers and Rockets here. So Washington lost their third straight game last night, 119-105 at Sacramento. It was unbelievable. They were just abysmal. Dinwiddie just look, and now he's whining after the game. I mean, real problems are happening here. Sacramento scored the final 7 points of the third, then outscored Washington. So if you count that and the fourth, they outscored Washington by 26 points in the last 13 minutes. Bradley Beal goes for 30, 13-24, fifth 30-point game of the season. But Dinwiddie, 2 of 8 from the field, 4 points, single digits in 2 straight games, 5 of his past 7. And he's whining after the game about not getting enough looks, not getting enough shots. Suns got their third win in 4 nights. Sorry, that they won their third game in 4 nights is what I wrote there. Sorry. 111-107 at Portland on Tuesday night. We know they lost the game before that when they showed nothing in Los Angeles. In their first game since December 6th, in his first game since December 6th, Ayton goes for 45 minutes. 28 points, 13 boards, 11th double-double in that 111-107 overtime road win over the Blazers. And Devin Booker still out for Phoenix. He's going to miss his 7th straight game. Here we go, and look at that. I saw that Swayman, but look at that. So more issues for this Boston Bruins team. Thank you for sharing that with us, Matty Ice. All right, take it away here, Dutchie. Last game on the card, Wizards Suns.
Yeah, man. This game, this right here, you touched on a lot, Jam, man. This right here, this is a clear fade of the Washington Wizards, to be completely honest with you. This is the 4th game in 6 days. Obviously in a back-to-back situation. Bill had the 36 minutes plus last night. Hasn't been shooting the ball very well at all this year. Dinwiddie, the problem is he wants more shots. Well, they need him to be the point on that team. They don't have a fucking point guard. So Dinwiddie out there needs to be the point. Obviously, he's not too happy with the situation. He wants more shots, it sounds like. That doesn't sound too good. These Wizards got a lot going on. Kuzma's worried about what's going on in LA, who's getting traded, who's not getting traded. This here, and then you're going to run into a Phoenix team who's about to have a couple nights off after this game. They're going to whoop that ass and then rest for the next 48. 1-6, the Wizards are straight up in the last 7 games. 0-6-1 against the number the last 7. 1-5-1 ATS last 7 on the road. They've been allowing their opponents. Now, they did just allow last night the Sacramento Kings, which you said it was pretty abysmal performance, Jim. Yeah, they allowed the Kings to shoot 55% from the field. Now, the last 5 games, they've been allowing their opponents to shoot 50% or better from the field goal. range. Now you're gonna go into Phoenix against the team at home that shoots 47% from the field, second best in the league. I know they're without their big gun Booker, but believe me, they got a lot of cash to continue to score. They will do it tonight. This will be a double-digit win. I'll stay away from the first half, Jim, but I definitely like the full game here with Phoenix.
Well, let's get you that 8.5. Let's see if Circa can beat that right now.
I got 8. Yeah, it was 8 earlier, but I figured it was going to be moving a little bit.
It is moving, and we're going to go over the money. 8.5 here as well, minus 110. So at least that's the lowest juice. The other books have moved it to 9.
Just want to make sure like no bullshit happened with Ayton or anyone coming out because he did play a lot of minutes. But then I seen they have 2 games off or 2 nights off after this. So I expect Ayton to go right back and do what he did in P-Town.
Nathan Cerna says, I heard Book was coming back. Great to see you. Mike M. in the house. Billy Friedrich giving us stats. He likes the Suns first half. Suns 7-3 against the spread. First half, last 10. Wizards are 2-7-1. Last 10, first half against the spread. J.A. looking at the Suns team total over.
It's a trifecta spot here for the Suns. I'm just going to lock in the full game.
Great to see you, Turns. Yeah, we destroyed market moves today by 50 cents, 60 cents, and a lot of the bets were only made 4 hours ago. That's crazy. COVID just wreaking havoc right now. This is the cash flow here. We have, like you would guess. So we have the 2 teams that looked awful yesterday are where the Sharps are at. Sorry, the 3 teams. The 3 teams who looked awful yesterday, the Pacers, the Sixers, and the Wizards are all being backed by the Sharps. So 19% of the tickets are on the Wizards and 43% of the cash. So wild.
Yeah, I agree with the Sixers, but I don't see it with this late night game. This is the game I'm very confident in with the Suns. It's like we talked about earlier, it's the Pistons, so we'll see.
And Jose saying that the Sacramento Kings have a COVID outbreak now, multiple players and coaches, because we knew that Gentry was out. So the Kings now have a COVID outbreak. I guess there's a doctor in Vancouver that we used to all hang out with back in the day, and he was saying, and look, I don't really want to get into this side of things, but he was saying he thinks that this Omicron is the best thing for us to finally. He thinks this is the end of COVID because it's so easily transferable that everybody's going to get it, and it looks like it doesn't really affect people at all. It looks like it's just tiny, and then everybody's going to get it. We're all going to heal from it, and then this will just go away. That's the first positive thing I've heard about all this bullshit in a long time, so I did want to mention it because it's bad. Ron Crawford says, Wizards garbage. No way they get my support here. So we locked Dutchie in minus 8.5 and minus 110 for the Suns. Jared TG saying you heard that as well. Hey, it's something.
Yeah, okay, I'll take that. I'll take it.
Yeah, if we have a chance. What's it like in Vegas right now?
It's getting rough, man. Like a lot of places are shutting down because they don't have the workers. Like places that you wouldn't think would shut down. But the strip itself, though, is it's popping for sure. Yeah. But yeah, it's still the mask rule. So but anywhere it's affecting everywhere, Jim. But definitely that strip is still bubbling.
Well, we'll see what happens. If I can fly out to LA on Friday, we'll know that it's not that bad. If I can't fly out on Friday, oh, shit.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Texas is open as a motherfucker, guys.
Yeah, no, Texas and Florida is a beautiful thing. I'm like, man, where the fuck I leave Florida? Motherfuckers out here in Vegas tripping.
All right, let's review NBA. Well, let's review NFL action with Dutch too. So we have Dutchie on the Chiefs -3, Kelsey anytime touchdown at +110, and Guyton over 23.5 receiving yards in NBA. We're going to wait. He's going to wait on the Sixers. He's going to wait on the Sixers because if Embiid is out, if Embiid's in, it looks like this is already set up for that. I guess the worst case scenario would be what? Dutch KD's out? But he's not going to miss this. He knows that the whole team is resting on him.
Yeah,
So
no, he's not. Yeah, he's gonna play, but he gonna be tired too. That's another thing that factors into this. He's played a lot of minutes, done a lot of late as well. So I think the worst case scenario is, it might drop down to maybe even what is it, 1.5 right now? One, it might be a pick 'em, which I'm fine with. It's not that big of a deal to me. I'd much rather get the +3 with the Sixers if Drummond's in.
I agree. I think that makes perfect sense. What you're doing. So the idea with Dutch is he wants the Sixers first half and full game. And if Embiid's out and it's Drummond starting, that changes nothing except that he'll get a better number. Then he can decide whether he wants the points or he wants the +120 on either first half or full game. So that's going to be official later. You can catch Dutchy, of course, in the NBA show Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern. And then for me, I think the Knicks first half and the Knicks first half team total over is in play. I don't think that the Knicks full game isn't in play. And I don't mean to put that out, but I just see that the first half and the first half team total over are both correlated. And we saw what the Knicks have been able to do sometimes, getting away from New York, getting away from the pressure. We saw what they did in San Antonio, right? They destroyed San Antonio that one game.
Yeah.
So
that Knicks first half card, it might hit my my card, Jim. I just got to get that out of my mind of how fucking bad they pissed me off against the Warriors.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And then Dutch has moved on the Suns -8.5 and -110. He bet it at -8. He's taking the worst line here for the official record-keeping situation, but he did get it at 8 when he bet it. Dutchy, thank you so much for rolling with us, my man. I love capping with you here on Thursdays, and wish I was able to run over to Vegas when I'm in LA over the couple weeks. It's just, my girl's trying to get us to do that, but the kids are a bit of a problem,
Yeah, you bring them kids, man. They handcuff you a little bit.
Great stuff. Follow our man on Twitter at DutchBoyFresh and check him out at 4 p.m. Eastern today. Any last words for the great cappers supporting the show, Dutch?
Jimmy, we on our way to the motherfucking bag. Yeah, man. Y'all stay fresh.
There he is, Dutch Boy Fresh in the house, delivering the goods as he always does. Here. Love the man. All right,
Jim, you know what time it is. It's end of show squad. It means it's time, Jim. It's time.
And time for what exactly?
To say a play of the day, because we're going back to hockey.
Oh, shit. To say, hey, play of the day in business. You are the hottest capper on the show right now. You are coming off a loss, but a spectacular record right now.
I mean, that was obvious, yeah.
73-67, 52.1% plus 12.39 units. ROI plus 8.85%, average line plus 104. What is the say hey play of the day?
Well, I've had a couple here because I've learned in the past couple of months of doing the show with you, Jim, that I am the avatar for the audience in a sense, and I cap the cappers, I like to be the audience avatar when it comes to betting. And again, Jim, I told you earlier in the week, I know when you're confident about plays. I can hear it in your voice. I know what it is. And I'm going to tell you here with a couple plays. First of all, the Vegas Knights, we're riding with you, Jim. I've got to. By the way, shout out to Bovada for being down this whole morning. So I can't make these bets yet, but am going to make them official. Vegas, I'm going to take them, Jim. Right now on Bovada, you can get them at -1.5, puck line at plus 144. Also, they give you a -1 at -109. I'll take the -1 here since you guys seem to really enjoy those with Vegas with hockey in general. I've never done them personally because you got to use that calculator nonsense and Ron's big brain, and I'm not smart enough to do that. So Pinnacle -109 for Vegas to start off with.
All right. Thank you for the kind words, Nicholas. We love hearing that. especially after the day I had yesterday. So glad to hear that you're cashing. All right, so it is Vegas -1 at -109 for Jose. What's next?
Also tailing the Islanders pick. Unfortunately, my Bruins are beleaguered. I'll take the money line. It's right now -127, a little expensive, but Bruins don't have like anyone on the team. So they've actually made the call, and I'm going to be flying up to be the E-Bug there. So who knows? Maybe I'll be between the pipes. And by the way, Jim, I would like to ask you this question. I do have several Islanders futures, and I don't look at standings ever, and I just expected the Islanders to be doing well, and it was my surprise that they're not doing well. So is this that you were seeming like this is the make or break game for them?
Every year, since Lamoriello and Trotzy went over there, they've put together a 10-game winning streak at some point in the season. I don't see why this season would be any different. So Billy Friedrich says burn those Islanders futures. You're in a huge problem right now, and this is a chance for the Islanders who've already gone through all this COVID nonsense to start winning games. So I think this game is crucial for them here. But right now, they're so far out of a playoff spot. They're in
baffling,
tremendous trouble. Now, if they won 10 straight games, they would still be, I would guess, 5 points out of a playoff spot. So the number, you're in big trouble. Big trouble.
All right. Well, good to know. Good to know. I also told people to jump on the Islanders with me, so that's fun. Avalanche -1, -114. Simple and plain. Again, I know when Jimmy's going to have a good day. I've seen him cap this many times now. I can hear it in his voice. All these plays, he's very confident in his hockey today. After a shitty day yesterday, I'm betting on the bounce back here, just like you would bet on a bounce back hockey team. I bet the coach came into the dressing room last night, yelled at you a little bit, Jim. And by the coach, I mean your girlfriend / significant other. And she probably yelled at you and said, Jim, pick it up. The holidays are here. We need E-Dog presents. We need the big C-Dog to get some presents. And tonight, you're going to get all that money back and then some. I can feel it.
I love your use of dressing room, and my girlfriend has no idea how much I lost last night.
See, and that's probably for the best. But in my head, Jim, in my fanfic in my head, she yells at you when you're bad at gambling, and that inspires you to do better. And here we go. Tonight's that night.
I keep her in the dark. If she knew how much money was going in and out, she would no longer be with me.
I do the same with Helga. If she knew how much money was coming in and out, she would be concerned. She should be worried. Her palms would also be sweaty.
Yeah, let's go, Brandon. I know we have the travel warning now. It's not good. We'll know if I don't get out here tomorrow night and I have to listen to these pigeons fuck all holidays, things are gonna go south fast.
Yeah, what are we gonna do, Jim? What are we gonna do?
Just get very drunk.
Fair enough. I'm gonna have a Jimmy size hole in my heart here in the next 2 weeks. It's gonna be very sad.
I think the Avalanche is the best spot on the board. That's what I think, Jose. I think the Avalanche is the best spot on the board.
Well, if I could put multiple units on there, I would. I'll do this. I'll do a Peter Loshak. Pete's not scared of taking the large high odds. He took like a -200 the other week.
266, yeah.
Yeah, no fucking problem. No sweat off his ass. I'll do the same here. I'll take the -175 money line along with the -1 too. That's how confident we are. Both on Pinnacle. Yeah, on the Avs. -175 on the money line. You can get that OT. I guess it might be smart to just use regulation, actually. So I'll do the regulation -110. That's actually smarter.
Avs in regulation at -110. All right. You have them here, Jose. Good luck, my friend. You are running very hot. Your 12 of 13 winners came to an end, but you are still plus 12.39 units, ROI plus 8.85%. You've been very impressive. We're all very proud of you. Very proud.
Thank you. I know. I am Did not realize that we'd be in this position, but I'm proud. Thank you to all my friends, my family, my comrades that have got me
I
here.
can't get my mouth around that thing.
Oh, sorry to interrupt there, Jose. Sorry to interrupt, but that was a beautiful thank you speech. Let's go back just one last time, and I know I've used it too much, but just makes me so proud of our French heritage.
La plus grande franchise dans la histoire du hockey.
What a fucking loser. What a fucking loser Jeff Gordon is. Find a different job. Lee Davis says Milwaukee Admirals head coach will be coaching for the Predators as well. Billy Friedrich says that Red Wings -1.5 alt line is still at plus 400. Thank you guys so much for rolling with us. You lifted my spirits after just a horrific Wednesday night of action, and I am very confident in this NHL card. And I believe I will be adding the New York Knicks first half. Jojo Rich says, you coming to Disneyland? Yes, we are taking Ella to Disneyland, and we're excited about that. We're very excited about taking Ella to Disneyland. So, yes, Jojo Rich. And I've got a list of all of these, all of the LA Cappers, so I can't wait to holler at all you guys. We'll meet up at Santa Anita. We'll have some drinks. We'll meet up in Hollywood, have some drinks as well. So, thank you guys so much for rolling with us. As always, Ron Crawford, Real Deal Prime, Nikolai Jubinski, Jojo Rich, Zoe Faye, Jared TG, Eric Thomas, Billy Friedrich, Lee Davis, Top Set, Trot Wham, Amsterdam, What Else, Joseph Gomez, Lesko Brandon, Real Deal Prime, Eric Thomas, Walking Spotted Bear.
Great name.
Fat Wally.
A lot of good names today. By the way, Jim, I hate to do this. I know you're going to roll into this outro, but I'm going to add one more play. And
what is it?
Well, why are you laughing, Jim? You're not taking my play seriously, Jim? I'm a winning capper.
I am nervous about the quantity of your action here when you're running so hot, but let's hear. What is it?
Well, hey, I've been told strike when the iron's hot. We're rolling, Jim. And I'm going to listen. Again, I'm a good listener. My man Billy Friedrich just put a good play in here. Red Wings alt line -1.5 plus 400. Right now it's plus 367 on Pinnacle. Jim, we're taking it. I'm taking the reverse puck line on these Red Wings. I'm up units, Jim. This is the time to hit. I got to do it. And I wasn't scared with my girl Juliana, and I'm not scared with these Red Wings.
I like it. Oh my God, Nicholas Lee says, are you sure you can go to Disneyland? Because I heard you have to be a California resident just to get in. Oh, fuck, man. Oh, no. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, no. She's got her
Someone's going to have to get a fake ID for Jimmy.
She's got her Mickey Mouse suitcase ready to go. Are you? Oh, God. Please
Well, this is a good time to end the show now. It's a good time to end the show, everyone.
No. Oh, no. Oh, God. I do not want to have to break that news. Not only is Daddy down $3,000 in the last week and a half, but we can't go to Disneyland. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay. Question from Eric Thomas. When are you going to be in New Jersey? Man, I would like to drive as soon as the weather warms up. We have a big trip to San Antonio at the end of March, and then we'll head over to New Jersey next. In the summertime, go to Atlantic City and fuck shit up. That's what I'd like to do. We'll get everybody around there.
I'll be sure to record me jumping into Jimmy's arms, everyone. Don't worry. I'll record it, and that will be put on social media.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be like, actually, I don't even want to say something horrific and negative. Maybe it'll be like Dirty Dancing. How about that? I'll hold you up. It'll be magical.
You don't put baby in a corner.
Oh, look, is
that Dirty Dancing? I'm good.
Look at that. That is a movie that you've seen. All right. So let's. Jojo Rich says, "Hit me DM. Maybe we grab a beer. Bring my granddaughter this weekend as well." Yeah, absolutely, Jojo Rich. I will holler at you for sure. Billy Friedrich wants us to slow mo the Dirty Dancing spot with. On behalf of all of us here at Pub Sports Radio, thank you so much for your support. Let's have a bounce back Thursday and get that cash. Leche. Hey, those bookmakers!